Well, goddamn, pal.
Goddamn.
Seems like we got called out last week. Goddamn it, pal.
Yeah, called out by people trying to gaslight us.
I know.
It was weird.
It
was really weird.
I tried really hard.
Is this what I've been doing to people?
Yeah, it really
feels awful.
But it feels so good when you do it to other people.
I know.
It's almost worth the trade-off.
It is. I will accept having it done to me if I get to keep doing it to people.
Yeah. You get to feel bad for like an hour, but you get to feel great for like 3 weeks.
For like a long time, yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, it feels more good to do it than it does bad to have it done to you.
And
let's name other things like that.
And as we've learned, if it feels good, do it.
Even if you shouldn't.
Don't
let people mess you around.
Oh, it's going to be a good episode. It's
separate people.
It's already starting out with giggles, so you know it's going to be good.
I do like an early giggle. 2 separate people, but one DM'd us, and one was a YouTube comment. Yeah. Why didn't you talk about Vince McMahon? Well, one was, why didn't you talk about Vince McMahon at all? And one was, why didn't you read Vince McMahon's texts? For the record, we did both of those things I believe, a long time last week. So then it got me freaking out. I'm like, did I post last week's episode or something? I'm like, and then I went back. I'm like, no, I didn't. I did everything right, as always. And these people are trying to make me feel crazy.
Now, the most important thing is, have you been spelling pussy with an E the whole week?
Pussy.
Every time you've written pussy, which I assume you do. The new black fan. I assume you do it on a regular basis. You're texting everybody pussy. Just the word pussy. Not calling them a pussy, just saying
the
pussy.
Word.
But you're using an E, right?
Always.
Okay. That's the if it's good enough for a 70-year-old sex criminal, good enough for me.
I would like to see URPUSSUY. That's probably if you ran the analytics, probably my most common text message set.
We were specifically asked by a fan of the podcast, Garfield Von Kaiser, to make sure that we talked about the Vince McMahon stuff.
Yes.
And then the DM I got after the episode aired was, Drew, I regret asking you to talk about the Vince McMahon thing. It was absolutely disgusting. And I said, you did this to yourself.
Yeah.
And I was accused of victim blaming.
Yeah. So feel free to send all complaints and grievances to @IHateScottHenson on Twitter. That's hate with an 8.
Well, the cool way to spell it.
Yeah.
Like you are. B.
Or B. Because who's got time
to
type E?
That E is a complete extra letter that you really just don't need to put out.
No time.
No time for that E.
So, yeah.
It's been a week.
There's been more news.
It's been a goddamn week.
Always fun.
I think it'll be less graphic as last week.
Yeah, I don't think we're topping last week in terms of that, which was monetized, by the way. You're welcome, YouTube.
It's because we're talking about the news, because this is the news.
This is the news. You can't fault the news for talking about the news, even if the news is unseemly.
You really can't.
Should we do housekeeping?
Yeah, I'm Drew. That's Scott.
Hello.
Find me at things on at SarenSoftPaws on X, Instagram, Letterboxd, Mastodon, which I think I had a new follower on that I didn't know.
Oh, sick.
Because
you haven't checked it in 4 weeks?
Because it doesn't give me notifications that I got a new follower. Good. Maybe I can turn them on, I guess. But
probably, but also maybe not. I don't know what Mastodon's doing.
I got 10 followers now.
Not bad. How many are you following?
Well, now I'm following all 10.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, except I'm not.
Oh.
What is going on here?
Uh-oh. Trouble in Mastodon town.
You're a weird thing, Mastodon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Uh-huh.
It says I have 9 following. Ooh. But I have 10.
But it shows you 10 if you click the list.
I don't know.
Huh.
It's weird.
They'll get it together probably.
Because it says here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this one says follow back. And I click follow back,
and
it says the action is not allowed.
Maybe it's a deleted account.
But then I go to following, and it says I'm following them. So I don't... Mastodon...
Hard to say.
Get your shit together.
Sorry, so in terms of numbers, does it say 9 are following you and you're following 10?
It says I have 10 following. I'm following 9.
Oh.
When I try to follow the 10th, it tells me to get fucked.
But also, if you go to the list of people you are following
Okay, what if I get out of Mastodon?
What if I delete Mastodon?
I go back into Mastodon.
And where are we at?
Now it says 10 and 10.
Oh, is it?
So I just had to close it and reopen it. So congratulations to friend of the podcast, Dry Juice, who I am now following on Mastodon.
Beautiful.
Even though it wouldn't fucking let me. Nope, still says follow back, but it says I'm following, so I don't fucking get it.
Designer of the thumbnail you might be looking at right now, Dry Juice, in fact. Yeah, I'm at Not Scott Henson on X and more importantly PayPal, I guess. If you're going to do one thing that involves Not Scott Henson, I would do it to paypal.me/Not Scott Henson.
Are you also on Cameo?
I am also on Cameo, which is not at not. It's my only not Scott Henson. Cameo.com/Scoot. So if you want me to say something inappropriate, if you want to, I don't know, like the last one I did, roast Epstein's victims.
Epstein.
Well, because I was going to say victims, which doesn't have an S in it, but then I said the thing one.
Epstein's victims.
Exactly. So yeah, I can do that. Cameo.com/Scoot.
I feel like you hyped that one less than normal.
I always forget. Yeah.
You can also send me money at
you can also send your money.
PayPal.me/Serious
And if you want to send us both money, send it to one of those and say it's for both. Yeah. And we can take care of the rest.
And maybe I'll let you know the secret truths of how terrible my life is right now. When
ooh, hey, you know what? I like that. Pay Drew for secret truths.
Yeah. The more you pay me, the more secret truths I'll tell you.
That's not a bad deal.
The deeper, darker secrets.
I might send some money myself.
You already know how sad my life is. Hiding away in a dark room, pretending like I'm doing other things.
I do like the hiding.
Well, it's the easiest way to handle it.
It is.
Especially when it's pouring rain outside and I don't want to go out.
I'm not going to go outside.
No. Anyways, what other house cleaning we got to do?
House cleaning?
House cleaning?
What are we? What's out? What are we getting rid of? What? Let's go Marie Kondo on this. What is not sparking joy right now?
You.
Oh,
I'm gonna throw you out.
A hostile takeover.
I don't think she would be allowed in my place because she would make me throw out everything behind me. Does this movie spark you joy? Yes. There's no way this movie sparks you joy.
You don't need the Transporter 2.
You don't need a DVD and a Blu-ray copy of Soul Plane. One or the other.
But they both spark joy. You're lying. Marie Kondo would call you a liar.
She'd call me a liar.
Rightly so.
Yeah. To my face.
You lie.
You lie.
I assume that's what she sounds like.
I mean, she's one of them.
Yep. I suppose she is.
Is she a Japanese or is she a Korean?
Kondo sounds Japanese. Shuji.
Yuki.
Kondo. That's two already.
No, I don't. Yugi. I don't. Yu-Gi-Oh! Kondo.
Inventor of the card game.
Yeah.
The richest man in Japan.
Richest man in Japan. Owns all those used panty vending machines. Sold all of his Yu-Gi-Oh! money. Used all of his Yu-Gi-Oh! money to invest in the used panty machines.
Two like home run business moves,
which apparently are fake.
I have heard both, so I don't know.
I saw something very recently that they are very fake. That they are like manufactured.
Oh, I thought you meant like they didn't exist.
No, they exist.
Okay, no, I can see them not being the most truthful in the advertising.
Yeah. That they're manufactured with like a scent.
They're pre-distressed, like jeans with holes in them.
Yeah,
yeah. Only panties with pussy juice on them.
Yeah, with stains in them because
synthetic pussy juice.
There's stains in them because pussy juice is acidic and it eats away at your dick.
Also, it's just pee.
It's just pee.
Let's stop.
Yeah, I've drank pee.
Let's stop jerking each other's chains here, guys. It's just pee. It's the only juice they got. Speaking of juice, I want to talk about this drink for like a long time.
Okay, is it a new one?
No,
or is it just your standard favorite.
Well,
one of your favorites.
Interesting, you should mention that.
Oh, because you hate it now.
I don't hate it now.
Oh.
I'm drinking it. I'm enjoying it.
You're drinking the root beer one.
It's been no. It's been a rocky road with...
That root beer one was fucking terrible.
It sucks.
It's so bad.
It sucks. It's the worst root beer I've ever tasted.
It's disgusting.
We speak of Beaver Buzz.
You'll never get this. You'll never get this.
You'll never get this. Yeah, so like...
British Columbia exclusive Beaver Buzz.
It was in Washington for a bit.
Was it?
Yeah, they
right.
briefly had it at that shell.
That's right.
In Mount Vernon.
They must have been importing it, obviously.
Oh yeah, it's
somebody
made,
drives up here, gets a case, and drives down.
It's made in BC.
Yeah, in Slurry, British Columbia.
Yeah, and they're like the red can, the Beaver Buzz Citrus, has been like my bottom dollar bitch energy drink for 15 years.
It's very good.
It's great. It is dependable. And then like September, October, I had one. I'm like, God, is this like, did it go bad? Like it,
or like the seal wasn't completely sealed.
Yeah,
so there was some
like it
loss
like,
of.
It tasted off, and then so I'm like, well, I'm not gonna drink it. So I poured it out, and it was like also noticeably paler than the standard unnaturally bright yellow.
Yeah,
that
it's got to look like citrus. Citrus is yellow.
It's got to look like citrus. Exactly. And so, yeah. And then, but then like the next one I had was the same thing. I'm like, well, I don't like the direction this is going.
Were you buying them from the same store?
Yeah. Like the two were from the same place.
Okay.
So I'm like, maybe it's a bad batch or whatever.
Bad batch.
And then very shortly after, it is taken off shelves everywhere. Like you couldn't buy it for 2-3 months.
Oh,
and I'm like,
I didn't even notice.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, did they get rid? There's no way. Like, I've lost a lot of things in my life. Well, this would be the worst.
And we already lost the other good one.
Yeah. They already took away our black currant.
Which is also amazing.
Which is awesome.
Oh, I want that black currant so bad.
I know. So I looked on the Beaver Buzz site, and it said, currently out of stock, returning to stores end of December, which it did.
Yeah.
And everything's back fully stocked. But it's like they've changed the recipe. It's this new thing, which is still good. But it is
but it's not.
It is not as good, nor as yellow. So
do you think they got cracked down on?
I don't know. I don't know what the fucking deal is. I don't know why you would mess with borderline perfection.
Did we know that there's a Dr. Pepper?
I've seen it on their site. I've never seen it anywhere else.
Do you think it's better, worse, or just as bad as the root beer?
I'm going to go with just as bad as their root beer.
Okay. And there's also Black Can Original, which I don't think I've ever actually had because I assume it's just energy drink.
I bought it once in Washington, actually.
Okay.
Thinking at the time, oh, did they bring black currant back? Even though it didn't say black currant, and I knew I was kind of deluding myself, I'm like, I have to try. And it was the standard energy drink flavor.
That's why I've never bought.
Do not bother. It is original Monster. It is original Rockstar. It's Red Bull. It's whatever. It sucks.
Yeah.
And so here I am drinking my new and not improved Beaver Buzz Citrus, and I'm.
Did you write them a strongly worded email?
I kind of should.
You should write them an email. And,
what'd you do?
And also,
why did you do it?
And also say, where the fuck is black currant?
And fucking black currant. Yeah.
Like if it comes back again, like we are buying
all
cases.
Yeah.
Like I will go to a corner store and say, here's $150. Buy me as many cases as that gets you.
Yeah.
And then call me. Cause like not having it for, I mean, it was gone for.
Oh, like the original.
Like from what, like 10 years?
12 years?
12 years?
Something like that.
So like not having it for the 12 years, you're like, yeah, well, it's gone.
I'm
and like
over
it was good. Yeah, like my taste buds have reverted back to their old ways.
Yeah.
And then you get it back and you're like,
oh,
how did I live 12 years without
what a miserable 12 years in retrospect.
And now it's been almost 2.
I think
1.
Yeah.
So like if we got to wait another 11 goddamn years, like I might go and burn down the Beaver Buzz facility.
I think so. Well, especially with this new information.
Yeah.
I'm not psyched about it. I might, you know what? It might be sternly worded email time.
What's their address?
You know what? Maybe we'll get the crew on this.
Hey, internet, track them down.
Yeah.
Do your worst.
There's
There's also a USA site too.
Don't harass them. But with freezing temperatures across North America, our shipping has been shut down across Canada and parts of the U.S., with the exception of Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Kansas, Mississippi, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas.
Oh, so the shitbag states.
Those are the only states that can currently get Beaver Buzz shipped to them.
All right.
So, what's the contact here?
You just got to give them like your email information.
Oh, it's just on the site. So go to
they'll get a hold of you.
Go to beaverbuzz.com. Choose General Inquiry.
Beaver Buzz. Where are you located, Beaver Buzz?
And tell them
Double D Beverage Co.
And just say, why did you change the recipe for Beaver Buzz Citrus? It was the greatest energy drink of all time.
Where the fuck is blackcurrant?
Please go back to the original recipe and let me know why you would ever change it. And also, please bring back blackcurrant because I don't think I can live without it. Something along those lines. Nothing harassing, but strongly worded is fine.
Yeah.
Let these people know. Make our lives and by proxy your lives better by doing this. And I will be doing this myself.
You are leaving money on the table by not having the blackcurrant.
Yes.
Like between you and I, Sex, we would be buying enough to cover their manufacturing cost of at least one like round of it.
Yeah.
So why are you
my kids through college?
Why are you doing this to us?
Yeah.
Why do you hurt the things that love you?
Yeah, you take it for granted.
Yeah. You really do. It's just like I don't know, the blueberry pancake Captain Crunch. I'll never get it again.
Yeah.
And I'll always have that sweet memory of spending $48 to get 2 cases shipped to me because I
By cases you mean boxes.
Or boxes.
Let's be clear.
Boxes.
These weren't like pallets of cereal. These are two standard boxes of cereal.
And then friend of the podcast, James Starbucks, buying the syrup that was the flavor of it for his kids and telling me it was the most disgusting thing he had ever eaten.
It doesn't work in every form.
No, it really doesn't. And they also had like the make your own the pancake mix that was that flavor, but that's such a stupid thing to have because it's a cereal that's flavored like a pancake.
So now it's a pancake that's flavored like a cereal that's flavored like a pancake?
Correct.
I don't know.
That is with syrup that tastes like the flavored pancake cereal.
No,
it doesn't make any sense.
No, that's flying too close to the sun.
Yeah, that really is.
Yeah. But do send us either $150 each to paypals.me / Not Scott Henson and Sarian Softpaws, or 300 to 1 and say it's for both. So we will have the $150 each ready when and if Beaver Buzz Blackcurrant comes back.
Or when Scott sends that strongly worded email about changing the things he likes.
Hello, I'm an influencer and
I am a big cat influencer, and if you want to lose Big Cat's vote of confidence,
guess what?
Trump is winning.
Fix it.
And he's going to, because Biden is completely incompetent.
Trump might win. It'll be funny. You guys have a silly country. Look, you're a silly...
Some of you guys, not everybody lives in America.
No, but like a silly, like we can agree it's a silly country on the whole. A silly country deserves a silly leader.
Yeah.
Now, granted, both are silly. Trump is sillier.
Trump is sillier.
So you should have Trump. That's the politics corner.
That's politics corner.
What you got over there?
Nothing.
I wonder if that's even
Just my...
your corksicle glass. It picks up a little bit.
Tiny bit. It's the dinner bell.
So what else is...
I don't know. What else
happening?
What other house cleaning do we have to...
I think we've cleaned enough house. Thanks again to the new members last week. No new members in between last week and this week. Which
Cowards.
seems like a poor move on your part. So...
why do you hate us?
Maybe you could... maybe for once in your rotten life, show us that you don't hate us.
All of you have jobs. Not all of us have jobs.
Not naming
names, but if you pay me money for my dark secrets, maybe you'll learn.
Maybe you will. So youtube.com/@notscotthenson and click join and fix it.
And get some hogs.
Get some hogs. A lot of new folks are hogged up and loving it.
Yep.
That could be you.
You could be hogged. Who doesn't like a good hogging?
Yeah, I hogged her.
I hogged her. Hogged her good.
Did you come across a crazy person on the internet?
I came across one very insane human being.
This is sort of a Twitter creep of the week, but
creep in a different way.
Yeah,
creep because how has he not been arrested for threats?
Yeah.
So the public transit system in British Columbia and the Lower Mainland is called TransLink. Yeah, which is a very
I've seen some.
Oh boy!
I've seen a bunch of stuff on DeviantArt about TransLink.
Bring it up.
Pretty. You know what? Let's see what our first result is.
I'm dressed as Zelda. Bam! Zelda's the princess. So they have their own Twitter desk.
Let's see if TransLink
brings up.
Well, I think it will, but let's see if something can be the thumbnail.
So TransLink has their own Twitter desk, as they call it, which is there to provide information to.
Where's all the TransLink?
I don't know.
What? There's a picture of a unicorn. That's not TransLink.
Nope.
There's a fan-made poster for Disney Pixar's Inside Out 2.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There's a random furry pic. Maybe this is just giving me what it thinks I want and not. And it's like, no, you don't want TransLink.
Very possibly.
There's a homemade 21st century senile picture.
I like it. Here's what I found on Reddit. TransLink confirmed. It says 4. Link is not trans. Comment. Then how do you explain this? It's just a picture of Link that says, I'm trans.
It's a picture of Link with a little dash and the text, I'm trans. You know what? A fair point is made. Is this TransLink? Nope. It's just a regular femboy to busty lady sequence. Huh. Turns out there's no TransLink. Link transformation sequence gender bender. All right. There's one.
Yeah, but gender bend Link is not the same as TransLink.
I agree.
Gender bend is just drawing Link as a girl.
Well, he starts as a boy. It's a transformation sequence. So it
okay.
Starts boy, ends girl. So
can it be used as the thumbnail?
Yeah.
Those are famous last words.
I mean, it's not explicit at all.
Is there a bulge? Is there breasts?
It's all pretty conservative, actually. It's just that.
Yeah, all right. And we're nothing if not a conservative podcast.
That's true. Center left.
Center left. Which is a very drastic change from our early days of being the number one alt-right furry podcast.
Look, you gotta pivot with
the times.
With the times.
Anyways, back to what I was saying.
I'm
TransLink.
I'm
word.
Kind of mad at the lack of
TransLink. So they have a nice Twitter desk that is there to support the people using transit.
Yeah. Trans people.
Where you can say like, hey, I'm standing at this bus stop and this bus hasn't come yet.
And I'm trans.
And I'm trans.
What are you going to do about it?
Any information? And then they go, well, we're not here to judge, but God is. And then they block you.
It's a pretty cool Twitter.
It's pretty sick Twitter. So that's the purpose of the Twitter desk, is to give you information on, hey, I'm a loser who can't drive and I need to take transit to get home. Not naming names. And
you guys can get so many dark jokes. It's crazy.
And they will give you the info. Hey, your bus is 3 minutes late, but it's on the way, buddy. Or, hey, one of the drivers got assaulted on his route and we're short 3 buses now.
I think that's on the driver for driving 3 buses at the same time.
So, at the beginning of the day and the end of the day, they will put out a very nice tweet. This is sent at 12:25 a.m. on February 1st.
Okay.
That says, that's all she wrote.
They're calling it Groundhog Eve.
Groundhog Eve. That's all she wrote for Wednesday. We're now closed for the evening, but we'll be back bright and early at 5:30 a.m. for all your transit needs. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you tomorrow! ! And then the sign off of, I guess, whoever's running the desk at that point. So it's A.T. Andrew Smith. Andrew Smith. And then, couple seconds later, somebody says, will there be a strike again Saturday morning? And they nicely replied with, we are hopeful that an agreement can be made in the coming days, blah, 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 because there might be a strike.
Did you say nicefully?
Nicefully?
You said
I did. I said nicefully. I did.
Okay, just
very nicefully said.
Just checking. Carry on.
And then at 12:40 a.m., so 15 minutes after TransLink has gone to bed, a crazy person appears and he says, LOL, what the fuck? Hey everyone, this place hires crackheads to police stations. Fucking scum, I'm a ruffle all you Mr. Because that's what he put. MF Feathers. Show me what you can do, pussies. On the nice go to bed account. I
like show me what you can do, pussies. That is like call to action.
How do you think he spelled pussies?
With an EY.
So I went to his account and it's nothing but
first things first. Is he verified?
He's verified.
Excellent.
He's got 95 followers.
The verification process, I will say, in recent months and years has become somewhat more lax than it used to be.
I would say 60% bots.
Yes.
Of what I'm looking at. It's about 60% bots following him. And he is following, I mean, a lot of shit, but yeah, he's like a real mixture between, I guess he's following right-wing people.
Yeah.
Because that's his beliefs.
Uh-huh.
But he's also following all of the like liberal and left-wing people, I guess, so he can see their tweets,
so he can reply
so that he can
angrily
be a crazy person on their responses. But yeah, almost all of his posts that he makes are anti-Justin Trudeau stuff. And then
Justin Trudeau being the Liberal Prime Minister of Canada,
who's very much not qualified to be the leader of our country, but whatever. Who's going to make that argument?
Are you with this guy?
I am this guy.
Is this the reveal? Is this one of your dark secrets?
FT Hustla 24/7 on Twitter.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, he also has an Instagram.
Oh, which
is Van City Mile High. Cool guy. We have 9 friends. That's awesome. No, I'm kidding. All of his pictures are pictures of railway stuff, buildings. This guy might.
So it's less political.
Yeah, it's almost not.
Oh, it's all.
Yeah.
Like it's all public transit stuff.
Yeah, because
what's his deal?
Because he's insane. So it's all that, but then there's also just like videos of people with guns making vague threats, or like I get a Jussie Smollett related schmear stuff.
Nice.
And then following like the right wing conservative leaders of Canada. So I went into his likes and I was really hoping he was one of those guys who like accidentally liked one trans porn.
Yeah.
Cause it
happens a lot.
Like Alex Jones.
Yeah.
He had like that tab open that was for a like very well-known trans porn star.
Wasn't there like a Ted Cruz
Was
like
oh
that?
no, his wasn't
someone else?
trans.
Wasn't
His
trans.
was just
Regular porn.
he liked or accidentally retweeted
Right.
like MILF porn
Right.
to his account and he liked it and didn't realize, much like a friend of the podcast, Daniel McCoy,
Which like a lot of people.
that if you like things, people can see
You
what
can
you like.
go to someone's Twitter and click likes, and you can see what they like.
You can see what people liked, and
and
it's,
a lot of people don't know that, and it's very funny.
yeah. But there's a lot of AI images of Justin Trudeau
Being gay.
being gay, wearing a dress, calling him a traitor, and treason, and then also a lot of the guy from V for Vendetta,
A lot of Guy Fawkes masks
Guy Fawkes,
going
that's what
on.
it was, standing in front of the Canadian Parliament.
Pretty cool.
And
because we're gonna blow it up.
Because we're gonna blow it up.
Are we doing
We're
terrorism?
gonna shave our heads, like Natalie Portman. But yeah, like, and the guy literally is like, it's retweeting and tweeting and liking non-stop all day.
Yeah, he puts up numbers.
Like his full-time job is riding transit and liking things that are hating on Trudeau.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I was going back just like,
I think it'd be very funny if he was on welfare and is mad at Trudeau for giving him free money every month.
it could be. Very easily could be.
Maybe it's not enough free money.
Maybe it's not. Maybe
Remember when we got free money?
Maybe they didn't take enough taxes off, then you have to pay it back.
I liked it when we got free money for a little
Me
while.
too. I liked it when we didn't have to do anything with our lives.
We should do COVID again.
He loves this gif of the sniper loading the sniper rifle because he uses it.
Oh, a lot. It is a common reply.
Oh, I saw a bunch.
Yep,
There's another one.
Yep. He does like it. He's got that loaded up. Much like the sniper. Is he an American sniper?
Hold your horses.
Is he a Brad Cooper type?
Hold your fucking horses. I got to confirm this before I say anything.
No, just make wild claims. Who's gonna check?
This guy? He's local, Scott. He might kill me.
Oh, I guess he is local.
I just have to confirm
Should we make friends with
one
him?
thing.
You're doing live research.
I'm doing live research, and it's very hard to do live research when I'm supposed to be talking and making up stories that are true. So he liked a profile picture
Okay.
of some random girl. He's one of only 2 people who liked it.
Okay.
And I looked at her and I was like, she could be trans.
Okay.
But I clicked on her profile and she's got a rainbow. And as we know, it's all the same thing.
Yes.
Everything on the spectrum is the same thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, maybe this girl's trans. So like I went through her media and I was like, okay, there's got to be something. Like she has to have. But yeah, I don't think she is. But also she's not. She lives in the States and doesn't have a lot of followers. So I don't know how this guy
got a hold
of her. But for a second I was like,
come on, is this the one?
She could be trans.
Is this the smoking trans gun?
One of his tweets from late last year, geolocate hashtag pussies. The amount of resources you rat fucks pay for to eye me. Hose, let me save you a dime. I'll tell you where to find me. Hashtag keep it a buck.
Well, a buck is a cool way to say. Keep it 100 is a cool way to say keep it real. Keep it a buck is a cool way to say keep it 100. You see.
More sniper.
More sniper. Can you read a few more things like he's written, just to get a feel for his vernacular?
Well, he's posting the sniper rifle video.
Yeah.
And he's tagging the Vancouver PD, the Richmond RCMP, and the Richmond Hospital Foundation.
That's bold. I like that.
Ad says, Vancouver PD, the master of your hive needs to do a better job, like it's embarrassing at this point. Richmond RCMP, I see you pussies real soon. Richmond Hospital Foundation, we coming.
What did the Richmond Hospital Foundation do?
And then Richmond RCMP, attorney just informed me y'all were to provide me a copy of the Form 4 with the flying fuck, man. Y'all are evil. I will die to make sure this doesn't happen under my life watch again. I'm coming to your office with on number 5 road to get the form you were supposed to give me. So for recent learnings, I have discovered you need to give me that Form 4. Now there's a Form 4? And these are all in caps. These are him screaming them.
Love it.
Then he's posting another sniper video.
So, based on his word usage and slang, I'm to assume he's an African Canadian gentleman. Is that accurate?
Maybe one of those two words is correct, or none of them.
Or is it turns out he's a lame white guy?
I think he might be a person whose ancestors were here before our asses were here.
I would like to make an emergency apology. Not a white guy.
No. He partakes in the...
I love whatever you're going to say.
He partakes in the very quick and fast consumption of windshield washer fluid. I'm irresistible, but now we're switching over to all caps.
Sure.
I'm here to battle evil. Show your incriminating evidence on me to a jury, pussies. Every thought, every feeling, documented. Ain't tagging no N-word in this post. Mark my motherfucking words, pussies. Hashtag beast unleashed.
There is nothing I like more than other minorities casually throwing out N-words.
His post has 1 like. Who do you think was the 1 like?
The Vancouver Police Department.
The Richmond Hospital Foundation would be awesome too. Himself.
Yes.
All of these posts have 1 like
from him,
and they are him.
Yes, love that.
With no interaction.
But I don't know.
And then he retweets or likes a beautiful view of Central Park.
He keeps you on your toes.
But a lot of it is tweeting at the VPD and the Richmond RCMP, calling them pussies, posting videos of a sniper rifle being loaded.
Yep.
How have they not arrested him?
That is interesting. But I just love casual and frequent N-bombing by like natives. Koreans love it.
Koreans love it.
Yeah. Who I guess those are the big two. I guess some brown guys, but not as much. Koreans and natives are the two. Oh, Drew found.
I know. I remember the other thing we got to talk about, but maybe we'll save it for another episode. I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
Okay. We're done with this guy. This guy's just a crazy person.
How come you guys didn't talk about Vince McMahon?
Don't worry. Did you know that Mindy Kaling's brother faked being black so he could get a scholarship to a medical school to become a doctor?
That's sick. I did not know that. That's awesome.
He shaved his head to look more black.
Rules.
Yeah, I just found that out yesterday, and I forgot to mention it because I was gonna mention it today.
Shout out to Brother Kaling.
Mindy Kaling's brother.
That's really funny. I love that.
VJ Chokal Ingham, I don't know what the fuck.
Sure.
The brother of writer and actress Mindy Kaling has sparked controversy with his new book in which he claims to have been admitted to medical school after posing as a black man.
That rules.
I mean, he does... Okay. As a white guy.
He can pull it off?
As a white guy who can tell the difference.
Yeah.
I don't think...
he can't pull it off.
He's passing as black.
He's not passing at all.
He's passing as an Indian guy who shaved his head.
It's one of the most Indian guys ever.
This is my friend.
It looks like boy Mindy Kaling.
I mean, yeah.
Well, you know what? Good for him. Look, if he found white people who are so racist that they thought he was black, he deserved all the success he had.
I mean, yeah, kinda. If other black people didn't rat him out. Yeah. Then he's in the clear.
Never would have happened.
He's in the clear. Just the first time they heard him very awkwardly and quietly say the N-word, they should have known, not our guy.
That's not the kind of confidence.
Oh, but isn't that so wild?
That's really good.
And then like now that he's older, he's like he looks even like a darker Indian guy.
Oh, I like that he got darker. Good for him.
Yeah. I mean, so did she if she didn't keep lightening her skin.
Bleaching her skin. Yeah. A real Lark Voorhees, that bitch.
I think a lot of people hate her now, right?
Yeah, she sucks.
That she's like not done herself a lot of favors.
No, it's been
by just being completely unpleasant and difficult to work with.
And not funny.
I mean, she peaked at The Office, and that, you know.
And like the one bit of stand-up I've ever heard of hers is great.
I don't know if
It's the...
Oh, yeah. That's right. We have.
Yeah. It's like a couple of good bits, because it's like the you wouldn't steal a car bit.
Yes.
And then the using I'm so retarded the wrong way.
The wrong way, yeah.
Look up Mindy Kaling's stand-up. You will be pleasantly surprised. It's the last good thing she did. And it was, I don't know, like 16 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know, Vince?
Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Goddamn, pal. I didn't do anything wrong. If she didn't want it, she wouldn't have dressed like that. Goddamn.
I think he did a couple things.
I think he maybe tried one or two things that didn't go exactly the way a woman who was told things were going to happen was going to happen.
So what's new since last week?
I think he was lied to about how much she wanted to do that stuff.
Entirely possible. So last week, he resigned while we were recording, right? That was the deal? That's where we were at? It was breaking news?
It was the day we were recording. Again, maybe it was while we...
I think it might have been.
Or maybe like after we had done all of the Vince stuff and we were doing the movie.
Yeah, and they were like, oh shit, wait.
We were like, wait a minute, breaking news, Vince just stepped down.
Thanks to Slim Jim.
JK. Well, yes, thanks to Slim Jim, but also JK, he's still in power. I mean, he might be. Anyways, so... Yeah, we unfortunately went through all of the graphic detail of everything he's accused of doing.
Yeah.
And since that has happened...
he shit on a woman's head while having a non-consensual three-way with her.
And then left while the other gentleman...
to wash up while the other gentleman continued to non-consensually fuck her.
Maybe I'm in the minority on this, but once poop's involved... I think I'm done having sex.
I see. Wow.
Once another older than me gentleman defecates on the body of the woman I'm having sex with.
But what if it's only the head?
I guess that's fair.
Is that still a deal breaker?
I guess that's fair. But yeah, I don't think I'm continuing to have non-consensual sex with a woman who's been shit on.
I think that's fair. What situations would you continue to have non-consensual sex with her?
I'm not going to incriminate myself in that manner, but if it's in her mouth, yeah, I think that's a very specific type of fetish that these two gentlemen either shared, or one of them such a coward that he was afraid to not finish.
I think it's the latter.
Also, the fact that either one of them can get boners,
good for them,
is crazy.
I know. Shout out.
But also, maybe he didn't get a boner and he just shit, and that was the end of it.
That's how he does sex.
He's stuffing his limp penis in her mouth and then pooping on her head.
That's a viable way to have sex at 75.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But so that was the accusations that we read last time.
Yeah.
Since then, I don't know, a million things have happened, and I feel like every episode we record for the foreseeable future, there's going to be more insane Vince McMahon stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess since then, the feds have got involved.
Yes.
And they are doing interviews and background check, or like information checks and stuff with all of the women who have ever signed NDAs with him.
Yeah. So the thing is that the woman came out with, she had signed an NDA, and the reason this kind of happened in the first place, it was because when Vince was initially ousted in summer 2022.
Yeah.
was because this stuff, but not the specifics, came out.
Well, at first it was a referee who worked for the WWF in the 80s,
yeah,
who had accused Vince of raping her.
Yeah, Rita Chatterton.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Yeah,
and she came forward and said that happened.
Yeah,
and then after that came forward, several unnamed women, had also come out and stated that they had been forced to sign NDAs, by Vince for other such things, along those same lines.
And when the information came out, Vince stopped paying his part of this woman's NDA.
Yes.
It was for $3 million. He had paid $1 million. It was $1 million a year for 3 years or something.
Yes.
And he paid the first $1 million. But then when the shit came out and he got in trouble, he stopped paying it. So
presumably because his lawyers told him to stop paying it.
I don't know if they did, because that would you shouldn't stop paying it. because he the reason he stopped paying it is because he assumed she broke the NDA by getting this information out, but it could have been fucking anyone.
True.
And I don't think it was her initially. But now that he stopped paying it, he voided the NDA.
Yeah.
So she can say whatever.
She can come out.
So that's how this happened. But now the deal is that, and there are multiple NDAs, and
I think because the original accusations there was 6 women,
something like that,
and the total was like
20 million.
Yeah, I was gonna say 21 or 22 or something like that. Yeah.
So remember everything we said last week.
Well, and that doesn't include her, right? This is a separate one, or she was originally included.
I think she was in the total.
Okay.
Yeah. But I remember all the terrible things we said he did last week, which who knows if all of it's true, but at the very least, there are the text messages, and those are irrefutable. So he was paying this woman, was going to, but stopped, a total of $3 million. There's an NDA out there for $7 million. What did he do to her?
What horrors did that woman go through?
What did he did to her 2 1/3 times what he did to Janelle Clark?
He pooped
Grant. Look, I can't be expected to know the difference between Grant and Clark when both are 5 letters and the only vowel is A.
What if Clark ends with an E and that's 6 letters?
Well, it doesn't, so that's what fucked me. I think it's Grant.
Yeah, I mean, did he defecate into her butt?
He shouldn't have.
Then make her defecate back out his poop into his mouth, which he then spat out on her head.
This will be an interesting litmus test if this gets monetized.
Yeah, we're 45 minutes in.
Last week did. Although we said pussy really early in the episode, so we'll see.
But it was spelled with an E.
It was spelled with an E. Hey, human reviewer at YouTube, I hate that I have to address you by name every week.
But directly to you.
But it worked last week, so I'm going to keep doing it. When you're listening to this entire 2+ hour podcast to determine if it should in fact collect advertising money and not be sent to hell, know that we were spelling pussy with an EY every time.
Yeah. Also, how does that get you demonetized? It's not even that vulgar.
I don't know.
Anyways, so he has paid other women for NDAs.
Oh yeah, I forgot where I was going. Yeah. So it is entirely possible that all of the NDAs are not enforceable for a couple of reasons. One, best president ever, Joe Biden, passed a law in 2022 that all sexual assault related NDAs are invalid, but that might just be from 2022 forward and not retroactive. But also,
that's good for Chris Jericho. Never mind. I was concerned for Chris for a second.
Chris Jericho will be fine. Yeah. He can rape all the Kylie Rays he wants. But also, the way he did them, he basically he had his lawyer, but he had no company involvement, even though they were company based NDAs.
Yes.
Like he signed for himself and he signed for WWE.
He signed as Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
And then he signed as
World Wrestling Entertainment the man.
President Vince McMahon. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And also too, like I don't know if we'd mentioned this before, that the money used was he was paying the NDAs with WWE money,
and then paid it back,
and
with
then
his
putting
own.
his own personal money back into the pot.
Yeah. So the company technically didn't lose any money, but also you still can't do that.
Yeah.
And you have to declare it, which he didn't. So yeah, so that's all interesting. So yeah, so we're just hoping that. Well, yeah, the ball is largely in Janelle Grant's court, although I guess if the FBI is involved, theirs too. So we just want to see the world burn, basically. Like the worst things that happen, the funnier.
I just want to know what he did to the other women.
I want to know what he did to the other women, absolutely.
And like I saw somebody online ask Meltzer.
Oh, did he respond?
Not this time.
Oh.
No. This is the one time he didn't respond to somebody. Was how do you think this will affect the Netflix documentary?
Ooh.
And he said everything is fair game.
Yeah.
So in theory,
it seems like an important
presumably
part.
this will be added to the Netflix documentary. I don't know why it wouldn't be.
It sounds like it should be.
But
It actually sounds like you should wait a bit to see how it pans out.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure they'll do more if they can. But it's so crazy that. So anybody who's not familiar, Netflix had gotten a agreement to make a documentary on Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
But initially,
Yes.
it was like
It had to be Vince approved.
Vince had to approve most things going into the documentary.
Yeah.
But then once he was kicked out,
Yeah.
I guess Nick Khan must have been,
I guess. Yeah.
was just like, you guys do
whatever.
Do what you got to do.
Go nuts. Make a good
Right?
documentary.
Like you got it. If you got the information, use the information.
Nick Khan just wants good art.
Maybe Nick Khan is secretly the good guy.
Could be. All the Khans
Although
are.
if he knows anything, he's probably getting that. Okay, we'll touch on that very quickly. But yeah, like now that Vince is out, like Netflix does have full control.
Yep.
But the funniest thing is that now WWE
It's going to Netflix.
And then there's going to be a docuseries about their rapist founder.
I did not think of it
Yeah, isn't that funny?
But that is very
They were like,
true.
hey, tune in every week
Monday
live
Night
on
Raw.
Monday Night Raw, and after you're done watching this week's episode, go watch this docuseries about the guy who created the company who was shitting on younger women's heads and forcing other people to rape them.
Wow, I didn't think about that.
Isn't that fucking wild?
That's really cool.
It's so funny.
Way to go, Netflix.
Way to
I
go,
like your
Netflix.
style.
I like the way you're going.
So you can start seeing Raw on Netflix as of January 2025. You will stop seeing Raw on the USA Network as of September 2024. Between September 24 and January 2025, they're not sure.
Who's to say?
But
I would assume
I guess they'll work it out.
I would assume they'll go to Netflix early.
They could.
I think if Netflix owns them, owns the show starting in January, I don't know why they wouldn't just be like, all right, we'll do we'll cut you a deal here, and because it would not.
It'll air somewhere, but
But I was gonna say, it would not. It's not in Netflix's best interest to let a show they just bought,
Yeah, go
not
off the
air
air
for
for
3 months and then come to their right. Like that's a stupid idea.
Very stupid.
So I would assume that if it comes down to like the last minute, like this is the last Raw on the USA Network, we don't know what we're doing next week, that Netflix wouldn't swoop in and be like, okay, you're just on now.
Yeah,
right.
Like they'll be on. They'll either
extend with
some
USA
kind of a short
for
extension with
something.
USA or that, but it is funny that it's not taken care of.
That it's like a year out, and they're like,
we'll figure it out.
Oops. Yeah, very funny.
Yeah.
What was the other thing I was gonna say? Oh, so now the thing is that now that the feds are involved in the investigating Vince,
Yeah.
that like pretty much anybody who works for the company.
Yeah.
That has worked under Vince in the last however long is like there's no way that everybody doesn't know.
They know.
Like every single person in any form of power in that company knows what Vince did.
Yeah.
Well before these accusations came out.
You may not know the specifics, but you know.
But you know that there are, you as a person that works in the office, in the creative, in the day-to-day operations of the company.
If you're on the cream team.
If you're on the cream team, probably most of the wrestlers.
Yeah.
Know that there are women you've worked with or currently work with that Vince has been sexually assaulting.
Yeah.
And nobody has said anything until this one woman comes forward.
Correct.
So nobody is really safe from this.
Yeah.
And there's a very strong...
Well, Triple H, WWE executive, head of creative, COO.
Not anymore. He was COO, but I think he's not.
Former COO.
Vince took it away from him.
That's right. Former COO, current head of creative, executive in the company. Does have plausible deniability because he didn't read the lawsuit.
Didn't read the lawsuit. And he just wanted to focus on all the good things they were doing this week.
They had a great week.
Had a great week.
Yeah.
Great week.
Definitely not catastrophic.
Want to thank Jordan Grace for being here, and that's the only thing I remember him saying. But yeah, no, he
gave one of the worst press conferences of all time.
He really did. He I don't know how nobody in corporate or legal was like, hey, Hunter, they're going to ask you about this.
Could he?
Maybe
he couldn't have been so there's no good explanation.
No.
There's no excuse for being that unprepared. There's no excuse for being so naive that you'd think people wouldn't ask about one of the biggest stories in wrestling history. Yep. There's no way you can justify it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy that you wouldn't go into this press conference.
And also it's
prepared to answer. Do you think doesn't matter if the Rumble was dog shit as it was.
Which was.
You really think that these reporters are going to come in here and ask you about the Royal Rumble?
Cody Rhodes.
As opposed to the guy who invented your company raping people?
Yeah. And it's so easy. You can just, people won't be satisfied. No. But you can just do some legalese bullshit. Yeah. You can just say, it's an ongoing legal matter and I can't discuss it. That would have been
simple as that.
10,000 times better than what he said.
I haven't read the report about the thing I knew about 4 years ago.
I haven't read the report about my father-in-law,
sort of,
who is the executive chairman of the company that I'm also an executive
that I've worked for
since 1995.
Yeah. And also, I knew about these things for years.
Yes,
but also haven't read the statement, so I don't know what you're referring to.
Yeah,
yeah. I think even
so bad.
Even from a stake in the company standpoint, and obviously you don't want to. I mean, Vince will never be back. Although, who's to say?
There's a pretty good chance.
There's a pretty good chance he'll never come back, but.
Also, a pretty good chance we're not getting Brock Lesnar versus Gunther at Mania.
But even from the standpoint of somebody who's got a stake in the company and is very much in charge of the day-to-day operations.
Yeah.
How do you not realize that not saying anything that is not in defense of what's happening is not good for you.
Correct.
How do you not even say he's the things he's done are not a part of our day-to-day operations, and this is a completely separate thing that needs to be dealt with away from the company.
Yeah.
Or even something as simple as that.
Really anything.
And instead you're I don't know. Ask me next week. Maybe I'll get a chance to read it on the weekend. It's just so fucking stupid. But there's a very possible chance that the majority of the people working for the company at the date of us recording this will not be in the company by the time this is done.
Yeah, there could be some massive... You know what? They're going to do more house cleaning than us. And we do a lot of house
we just
cleaning.
Cleaned up.
I know.
Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy to think that all these people that have worked there forever that, in theory are innocent, other than the fact that they might have known minor information. But at the same time, Vince has created this world of just pure egotistical, maniac who, if you say one, you're getting paid pretty good. Yeah. Even being one of the shitty writers that none of your ideas get used because everything has to go through Vince and they're all his bad ideas. you're still getting paid pretty well.
Yeah.
And you've got a pretty stable job in like a big company that's, you worth a lot of money.
As we said last week, the most successful in spite of itself
Yeah.
$billion+ company in the history of business.
Just constantly falling ass backwards into billions of dollars.
Yeah, just failing upwards over and over.
Yeah. So like
because wrestling fans are so stupid.
Fucking stupid. Like they're the dumbest people on the planet. But even having that job that pays you so well.
Yeah.
And you couldn't even allude to or in secret make any kind of like formal claim or statement or give out information because Vince is a tyrant.
Yeah.
And you're going to lose your job and you would maybe never get hired to do that job for
anything that good again.
Something ever again.
Yep.
So I feel bad for the people that are like
even
down the ladder.
Even Triple H is in an extremely tough spot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's that's going to suck for a lot of people that are just kind of unfortunately sucked into that like vacuum of, well, you were here while it happened and you didn't say anything, and it's like it's a real Riefenstaller where it's like what am I supposed to do? Tell Hitler I'm not going to make his propaganda films?
Yeah.
I would be dead.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Like, what am I going to rat out Vince?
And thank God.
I would never work again.
Thank God she did. They're beautiful movies.
I mean, a couple of them are pretty beautiful.
I know.
But what can you do?
What can you do?
But yeah, so I feel bad for those people that are probably going to lose their jobs because they were in a room sort of near people who knew the information and they didn't tell anyone.
Yeah. But yeah, we just read today that they're already sort of putting in place like a plan B creative team.
Yeah.
And not saying without saying like, this is for if Triple H is gone.
Paul Levesque might not be in charge anymore, so here's the guy that's going to take over for him.
The Rock and Brian Gewirtz.
Jew.
And The Rock. Little known fact.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
But yeah, so that's
Chinese New Year.
It is Chinese New Year next week.
Maybe now.
Maybe today.
Maybe
Chairman Mao.
Maybe Chairman
Meow.
Could be Chairman Meow.
I'll look up Chairman Meow. Actually, I feel like we have before and nothing came up.
We do have a listener, Chairman Meow, who has requested movies before.
That's true, actually. Yeah, you're right. But is there picture Chairman Meow? Because I don't think so.
No.
Oh, it's perfect.
So
it's more perfect than I wanted it to be.
I'm guessing this is our thumbnail. After the abject failure of TransLink, I'm turning my head to look at the picture now. It's really good.
And you can buy it as a poster.
Send me that immediately.
You can buy it as a poster.
Chairman Meow versus TransLink. It's a real Virgin versus Chad meme. Perfect. Thank you. Received.
Good.
Acknowledged.
I wonder if there's. Anyways, yeah. So that's your Vince McMahon update for the week.
Yeah, you got.
Oh, I mean, there's so many more.
Yeah, but you got any questions? Write in. Let us know what you want to know.
I mean,
how many hours per episode?
I also like this one.
That's also very good.
That was pretty good.
How many hours per episode we should devote to this? I think we're doing the right amount currently. Oh, that's good too. They're all good. Like there are no bad.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
There are no bad Chairman Meow pictures.
Any of these Chairman Meow pictures. I was gonna say, is listener Chairman Meow's picture? Because if not,
it's not.
Oh, coward.
Although I don't know if I've seen it, because I think it's mainly been through PayPal, and I think that's just like a. Although you can have a picture on PayPal, just a lot of people don't.
I got one. Mine's one of the nice pieces of art that people made for me.
As is mine.
Should we reveal that pretty soon we're going to have 8x10s?
We should.
Or should I not reveal that to the listening audience?
I think people should have to pay for that sort of information.
You know what to do. Send me money and I'll tell you deep dark secrets.
And merch info.
And merch info. Yeah, this is the WCW hotline.
Yeah.
There's been some new merch spotted backstage. Give me a call at 1-900
1-900-909-9900.
That's right. Oh my God. Yeah.
I got you.
Although that doesn't work anymore because on everything it's always got a block. This number is out of service. Don't call.
It's sad.
What else we got? Is that it? Or do we have two movies that are both very
We do have two movies.
incredible? We got to do both because they pair together.
They do pair. We do have to do both. We going into this episode, we had no pending requests. We had done them all. That has now
boy, oh boy, has that been achieved.
that is now drastically changed. As I woke up Thursday to some big ol' requests. About a week prior, where Tib had messaged me asking, hey, on the crazy off chance someone did something nutso like requesting a full season of anime, do you charge by episode or total runtime, whatever? I'm like, total runtime, and he has. He's like, or do you do like by episode, or do you do like runtime divided by 90 minutes? And I had a real angel and demon on shoulder. I'm like, yeah.
Which one was I?
It's you were both.
Yeah. Were we kissing?
Yeah, divided by 90 minutes, not 2 hours. But I'm like, no, it's don't jeopardize a good thing, Scott. So I was like, yeah, it's runtime divided by 2 hours. Or if you, but I did give the option because I'm not an idiot. I'm like, or if the runtime is like 5 hours 20 or something. So yeah, divided by 2 hours, and it basically counts as 3 movies. Or if you would like to do it your way and divide by 90 minutes, it counts as 4. So whatever.
Yeah, you do you.
Whatever feels good. And then if you could believe it, that crazy off chance happened, and in fact, a season of anime was requested. So we will be doing the most current season of Made in Abyss. Not the last season. It has been renewed for a new season to come late 24, early 25. So we'll deal with that when it comes to it. But yeah, so we will be doing the rest of Made in Abyss. So between, I was going to say 3 people, I think 2 people, because someone else requested the initial 2 Made in Abysses, and then
you'll have to go back and track it.
Where Tib took up the mantle. So we got that, and then at the also waking up to on the same day, Olivia sent us another YouTube video to do, which is I don't know the guy or the story, but based on pretty good taste with the last H-Bomber guy, Roblox oof, reason every episode has Roblox in the name now.
This is the old Roblox podcast.
This is the Roblox podcast. Tommy Tallarico video. I trust Olivia's judgment because apparently this one has someone devolving into insanity and a bunch of slurs are involved. So it's probably going to be fun. So I'm looking forward to it.
Olivia knows what we like.
Yeah. So it's
slurs and madness.
Slurs and
madness. That's what the podcast should be.
Yep.
Just slurs and madness.
So yeah, it's about Temple OS, which I don't even know what it is. I assume it's an operating system based on the OS, but I know nothing of it or the guy involved. But it should be fun. I believe this video is by Down the Rabbit Hole, which I've heard of because I think they did a video on furries that I started watching but didn't finish because who has time to watch a long YouTube video if you're not getting paid to?
Yeah, exactly.
And because I thought it was Internet Historian, but Internet Historian is the guy that H-Bomber guy got in trouble for plagiarism. And Internet Historian did a video on Rainforest 2015. And I think the Down the Rabbit Hole one is a more general video on furries.
I will give you the description of the video.
Okay.
It's the guy who uploaded it is Frederick Knudsen.
Nice.
And Knudsen, spelled like Scandinavia. In the late 2000s, a man begins relentlessly sharing his custom operating system.
Cool.
But when people take notice of the man's strange behavior, they become witness to the degradation of his mental state.
Nice. I like the sound of that.
It's pretty good.
That sounds fun. So we got those 2 to do. So, and next week we will also have a unique request, which I don't think you know of yet, but in the mail coming between this week and next week, I have 2 animal-based cologne samples coming that UV has purchased for us to sample.
Can we not spray them in my apartment, please?
We're probably going to spray them in your... I think they're just like the tiny little sample one that you just do a dab on.
Are they pheromones?
I don't know.
Are we going to fuck on the podcast?
I mean, probably.
All right.
It's all been leading to this.
All right. I mean, it has. Really has.
So we'll do that. And then also...
I was hoping it was another 5 minutes of shut the fuck up and eat snacks. That was the best one.
Mo, if you're listening, hey...
That was the greatest thing anyone's ever done.
It's the greatest thing anyone's ever done. And I'm filled with such bittersweet feelings thinking about it because 1, it was so nice. 2, it was a lot of money. But 3, I miss Milk Bar so much.
Yeah.
How, 4 months. It existed for 4 months and that's it. November to March, the end. That's worse than your child dying.
I don't know how it failed.
It was because of fucking Nordstrom.
I mean, it was because of Nordstrom, I know, but
because they lost the building.
But
why couldn't I don't know why that Milk Bar couldn't.
You have
reopen
everything there
anywhere else.
You have everything in the building.
Yeah,
just take the building. What's in the building?
To a different building.
Yeah. I wonder what I would love to know, what the actual sales were for them, because
I mean, from us alone.
But yeah, I don't know.
It's so sad. We just have to go to Vegas again.
Yeah, we do.
So yeah,
we'll go to Vegas when everybody's gainfully employed.
Yes.
Dark secrets. Send me money.
Dark secrets.
PayPal.me/SarianSwapPause, and I'll tell you the dark secrets of the universe and of my universe.
Yes, the Drewniverse.
The Drewniverse.
What the hell was I saying? Yeah. So
you were coming.
Mo, send us stuff. You're the best.
You're the best.
And so yeah, so we've got those requests, and then we've they actually haven't gotten. I think it's. I'm just gonna say he.
No, we can't do that because we made that assumption last time.
We've never fucked up.
Made that assumption last time.
Assuming that everyone.
We were expecting to see a 6'2" bald cholo. That is not what we got.
But Jazzy had paid for a request, but did not know what the price of a request was. But in most recent conversation, asked if paying in parts is okay. I said absolutely. So just get back to me and let me know if that works and we can do something. But I believe some sad anime was requested.
We're doing payment plans now.
We'll do payment plans. Hey, whatever gets us money.
I would do payment plans. Yeah.
If the options are don't get it or do it on a payment plan, fairly easy choice, actually. Yep. So, yeah, Jazzy, let me know if that works for you because it certainly works for us. Yeah, and that takes us to now when we decided to do 2 movies for episode 5?
High School High.
5.
High School High,
Natural Born Killers, Fear and Loathing, Boondock Saints. Welcome to episode 5 of season 5. That started, we looked it up last week, but I've already forgotten. A long time ago. 7 months ago?
Yeah, it was like June?
Yeah, I think it was the spring.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when...
hey, guys, that is nearly an episode of
Remember when we were doing 2 a week?
Nonsense talk.
It's crazy.
Nonsense talk.
I don't know how we managed that. Granted, we were doing shorter episodes, sort of.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Like the wrestling ones were pretty short.
Yeah.
Thank God nobody wants us to do wrestling podcasts.
Yeah, but they do want us to talk about Vince McMahon.
They want wrestling in the context of people who are monsters.
Yeah, less pretend fighting, more rape.
Yes. Well, it's what everybody wants.
I see no reason that can't be both. What good pretend fight doesn't eventually end in a rape?
Taking it to its natural conclusion.
Yeah, non-consensual sex.
So originally, the actual season 5, not all this request business, has been...
Oh yeah, what the hell is season 5?
Tigger?
It's Tigger.
This is good, right?
This is good, right?
Or
this is bad, right?
Well, or nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So originally, we were just going to do the movie I Am Sam.
I Am Sam.
But then I noticed also on our potential list was Summer of Sam. And both of those have Sam in the name.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the Sam episode.
It was all Sam episode.
All Sam all the time. All Sam spectacular.
Yeah. However, I watched both. I watched Summer of Sam first and realized like it's a really good movie. It's not great for subject matter.
Keep talking about this a bit.
Are you gonna go poopy poop?
No.
You're gonna go pee pee pee.
Yeah, but out of my butt.
Oh, okay. Not the best subject matter. Like, there's not a lot of real good meaty stuff from the movie. Like, there's a couple things that are like pretty interesting, and of course, then we just get to yell the line, "I knew it wasn't Berkowitz." But after watching I Am Sam again for the first time in, I don't know, 16 years, I thought, man, this paired up with a different movie that has very similar, I don't want to say very poorly made look at mental health problems and disabilities would be quite the 1-2 combination. So I said to Scott, have you watched the Sams yet? He said, no, I'm doing them tonight. I said, good, you can skip Summer of Sam, and we should do 2007's Reign Over Me, starring Adam Sandler and Don Cheadle, because it's wacko. And it was the correct decision, because that movie is so tone deaf to how anybody actually lives their life with PTSD. And then I Am Sam is a great look at how Hollywood doesn't care if Sean Penn goes full tard. You're not gonna, what did you do? What did you do? You said you were going to go pee out your butt, and then you made boom boom in your pants, and now we got to throw out your underwear. Congratulations.
Drew, all I'm hearing is that you don't care about black directors.
I don't care about black directors. Especially the only good one. Oh,
Steve McQueen called out.
Steve McQueen. I like Antoine Fuqua as well.
Barry Jenkins called out. A third black director called out.
Ava DuVernay.
I said directors, not
Duvernay.
Bitches.
Ava DuVernay.
Has she done anything good?
Wonder Woman.
Or is she just like really cruising on checking a couple of boxes?
Wonder Woman. Did she direct Wonder Woman?
Maybe. I don't know. So no is the answer to anything good.
No, because I didn't say Wonder Woman 1984, which is the good one.
Ava, what have you done for? I feel like you've done nothing good, and I feel like I don't.
DuVernay. She had Selma.
Whatever.
Wrinkle in Time.
I did know she did A Wrinkle in Time, which was an actively terrible movie.
She did one of the 30 for 30s, which was the Venus Williams one.
Okay.
Which it's good, but it has nothing to do with her directing.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of other that documentary, the 13th, which was up for some Oscars.
That's right. Yeah, she was really cruising on 13th.
And then, of course, Wrinkle in Time, which is one of your favorite movies you've ever seen.
One of the best.
Adam gave it half a star. Good for him.
That's the last movie she did before a 2023 movie called Origin that nobody saw.
Yep. Huh. That was the one that you guys were talking about, the eye lines, right?
Yeah.
For like the kid and the giant, like the.
I feel like someone was playing a prank on Oprah, telling her where the eye lines were when they were somewhere wildly different. Like it was, really bad.
Wonder Woman was directed by Patty Jenkins, which is a white lady. So
Barry's white wife.
Maybe. No, I think Barry's
Richard's wife.
I think Barry's a faggot. I didn't realize she directed Monster.
Is Spike Lee the only straight male black director?
Steve McQueen's straight. He's just okay. Fine. He plays straight. He almost died in Le Mans. Leave him alone.
Really?
No, that's the other Steve McQueen.
What?
No, I think Black Steve McQueen very much has a beard. Very much has a beard.
Yeah.
Why else would you direct 2 movies with Michael Fassbender where he just pulls his dick out for one of them, literally no reason?
Yeah.
Hunger, there's no reason for him to show his full dick.
No.
Shame, maybe so. Because, he's got some shame, and his shame is his giant wiener.
Shame is really good.
Shame's very good.
I think it was my number 1 for 2010 or 11. 11.
I think it might have been. Can I tell you that as an answer? Probably.
I insist that you do.
I mean, I have it all on my phone. I just
tick,
gotta...
tick, 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 tick,
Don't
tick,
you
tick.
dare.
Oh.
Don't you fucking dare. How far back? How long ago do you think we did those? Does it feel
Late.
like 15 years ago?
It feels like, 100 years ago when it was about 3. Late 2020.
All right, Scott.
Which feels like a different lifetime.
It was your numero uno.
Yeah. It rocks.
I don't know where it was on my mind. Would have been. It was my numero dos.
Oh, nice. Well, was The Guard 2011?
The Godfather was 2011.
The Guard.
The Guard was my numero tres.
Ah. What the hell's your 1?
The Untouchables was my number.
Ah, that's right. I was thinking it was one I didn't have on my list.
Your
and you
number
were...
2 was The Skin I Live In.
Oh,
and your number
also great.
And your number 3 was Midnight in Paris.
Good year.
And Midnight in Paris for me was not on my list, but it was close. Was it a kiss year? That was not a kiss year.
We had a couple good kiss years though, and a couple bad ones.
That one was not even close to kiss year.
Oh,
2011, bad year.
bad year.
I would say probably.
We had one where we just kept.
2013
Was it 13?
was kiss on 1, kiss on 2.
Oh, Jesus.
Missed on 3 by 1.
Jesus.
And then kiss on 6.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And kiss on 9.
Holy
we
shit.
had 4 kisses in 2013.
Oh my God.
Her, Prisoners, Blue Jasmine, 12 Years a Slave.
Oh, fucking A.
So good.
Okay,
Look at us.
now
Look at us.
Now I want to do 2021.
And then just copy each other's lists.
I just copied new kisses. We can not divulging any dark secrets or anything because those are of course
Gotta pay for 'em.
those of course behind a paywall.
Yeah.
But there's probably some time to watch some 2021.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's pick a day and pick a date to do the episode
And pray the gay away.
and pray the gay way and work to that.
Okay.
Let's do on-air planning. My favorite
I
time.
think everybody likes it when we don't discuss our plans and then just do it on the pod.
On-air business. How quickly could we do it?
Well, I don't know how much I have to watch. That's the question.
What do I have?
I'm going to go with highest rated movies I haven't seen.
I have an actual list so I can see.
I think I made a list at one point and then
Did you check it twice?
I did not check it
Well,
twice.
therein lies your downfall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
2, 3,
I have 19 I would want to see before making a list.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I can skip that one.
That one's gay. I can skip it.
14, 15. Yeah, I would say I'm maybe around 15-ish, unless there's things that you have seen that I haven't seen, or vice versa.
Yeah. So somewhere in the higher teens for both of us.
Yeah.
That's not terrible.
Also got to watch Crypto Zoo
Crypto Zoo's on my list.
on my list too.
Could we do it in 4 weeks?
That's a bold statement.
Could we do it in 5 weeks?
Well,
Could we do it in 6 weeks? I'll tell you a specific number we can't do it in, and that's 7 weeks. Because 7 weeks, motherfuckers, is Smarch madness. Fucking mark it down, put it on your calendar. The March 25th episode, I think.
get
if
your
I remember.
popcorn, get your foam fingers,
Yeah. Biggest episode of the year.
paint your face.
Paint your face.
Like a kitty.
Like a kitty. Because God knows there aren't any good cat mascots, so you might as well be one.
Not even a chance. Like the year that a cat mascot gets to the Final Four is the greatest day in the history of this country.
Yeah.
Because every cat mascot fucking
Sucks.
sucks.
including and the worst mascot is a cat.
Yeah.
Penn State.
It's
the best school.
It's barely a costume.
Yeah, no,
It's made of felt.
Yeah, it's carpet. It's made of carpet samples.
It's carpet samples. Yeah, it's a carpet sample puma.
It's so sad. But yeah, 7 weeks today. March Madness. Mark it down. Get hyped. 6 weeks. The one before.
Yeah, I think that's doable.
I think we can do 6 weeks.
I think we can do 6 weeks.
And I have less to watch for 2022 than 2021.
Ooh, I don't know if I've looked at 2022 yet.
So we could look at it. It's not like we would do it the next week, but
no.
I could.
I think most things are out, right? The things we would need for 2022 are like available.
Every 2022 is out that I need to see, except 2 movies. One of which I don't think will ever be available. Have you heard of Jihad Rehab?
No.
It's a documentary, but I think it was just at Sundance 2022, and then basically got banned.
Oh.
Yeah, it's available nowhere.
Huh.
So Adam saw it through Sundance. He gave it an 8. So I would have liked to see it. So I'll ask him about it and see
or just ask the director
what the deal is, or ask the director. And then Hundreds of Beavers is also technically 2022. It's showing at the Rio in March. So
well, I guess we should go.
We could see it at the Rio in March.
I guess we should fucking go.
And everything else I have procured legally through torrents. LegalTorrents.com. Check them out. Official sponsor of the podcast.
Yeah, I think I got a good amount I need to watch for 20.
I definitely saw a lot more in 2022 than 2021.
Let me remove all of the TV series I need to watch. Okay, that's less.
2022, I've got 13.
I've got 75, but I don't know how many of them.
But how many really need to be seen?
I don't know. I'd have to go through and look.
You probably
don't forget you have to add this to your watch list if you haven't already watched. If you haven't put it up, you got to fucking add that.
Ooh, I do have to add Cats of Malta. What actual year is it?
2022.
2, okay.
It's on Tubi.
Oh, is it?
It's only 68 minutes.
Beautiful.
It's going to be some beautiful goddamn cats. All beautiful goddamn cats. All cats are beautiful. ACAB.
ACAB. Possible shirt?
The right ACAB. I think we could do sexual predators .
Uh-huh.
I think we could do that as a shirt. If it's 2 lines.
Yeah. It was always 2 lines.
Oh, okay. I was going to go sexual predators . That's one thing. So that if you look at it from a distance, it just looks like sexual predator.
Yes. No, yeah. Stylistically, it would be 2. Because we're sexual.
We're sexual.
And we're predators.
And we're predators.
And we're sexual predators.
Sexual predators . Sexual predators .
Maybe don't do that one. But yeah, I think we can do that one.
Yeah.
I think we can't do protect trans kittens as much as far as Antifa cat boy shirt ideas. I think that one's tougher.
That one's a lot tougher. There are some you could do as heels, but you would never sell the shirts.
Yes.
But there are great ideas for bad guys.
Yeah. No. But I think we can do sexual predators.
ACAB, I don't think we could do. I guess we could do it as faces. Yeah.
I think you can only do ACAB as faces.
Yeah.
In Washington.
I think you could do it as heels. Because it's cats. It's not like you're actually.
Yeah, but it's playing off ACAB, which is a very left-wing thing.
Yeah, it's true. I think we could still do it as heels, but
I think we could and probably will. But we can also do it as faces.
We should. Yeah. Anyways, 6 weeks. We'll try. We'll aim for 6 weeks as the
6
best
weeks 2021, 7 weeks
March
Madness. Weeks 1 through 5 between now and then.
Requests and dicking
actually,
around.
I guess probably requests.
Requests and dicking around.
Yeah.
And then week 8,
2022. Bang.
No more podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the end of the podcast.
Just quit on March Madness.
We're not even going to do 22. Fuck it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done. Well, you know what? That makes it easy.
Means I got to watch EO. Means I got to watch all the other things in my list that I haven't watched that you've seen.
I guess it was because I saw film festival stuff in 20. I've seen a shitload of 2022.
Yeah.
I'm mostly good minus a dozen.
Okay. Yeah, that you did actually see a lot.
I was
yeah.
banging shit out.
Yeah.
Because like I already have
Well, don't worry. I'll find things on my list.
You'll
that you
find
need
some
to
bullshit
watch.
that I have to watch, but
And then you'll bullshit that you'll really like, and then be like, oh, why did I never see that before?
yeah, no, I know. Yeah. But yeah, I've got like a very solid top 10 for 2022 already. And it'll be tough to crack anything but the bottom.
I think I typed it up maybe on the computer, but I haven't looked at it in a long time.
Yeah.
A tentative top 10, which probably would be more like a 20.
Yeah. What do I have for 2021? I've got 6 movies, 7 that will
be on the list.
Likely be in the top 10, but I'm not even that like married to all of them.
In an hour and 40 minutes when we're done recording this podcast, we can compare and contrast lists.
We can. Well, in the interest of it being less than an hour and 40 minutes from now, should we talk about the 2 movies we saw?
We should, but let's do
Kissing?
Reign Over Me first.
Okay, I was gonna ask that
because I feel like I Am Sam is gonna spend a lot of your mental capacity going through the insane notes. So you'd never seen either.
I have never seen either. I'm familiar with both. I didn't actually know what Reign Over Me was about, aside that I thought there was a 9/11 element.
Yes. I had seen both, but it had been since they had probably come out or a little bit after they had come out that I'd seen them. So Reign Over Me is 2007.
Yeah.
It is Adam Sandler, Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
And I...
Don't hurt yourself.
I liked the similarities between the two was the fact that there is like a massive mixture of like the lame dad music.
Yeah.
I mean, I Am Sam is all the Beatles.
Yeah.
Which it's crazy that they got the rights to the Beatles.
I was going to say, how much did they fucking spend on music rights?
But it's fucking Sean Penn, so... Because Sean Penn's like one of those big, fight the corruption and fight corrupt leaders and save the environment, and that's what the faggy Beatles were all about. So, although I think after hearing songs in the movie, I was like, okay, maybe I like a couple Beatles songs, because like before I was always like, I don't give a fuck about the Beatles, but there's a couple songs that I'm like, no, I like this song.
I like some Beatles songs.
I just don't think that they're like the greatest band of all time. But
no,
don't ask me what I think the greatest band is of all time, because I have no fucking idea.
Hoobastank?
Could be Hoobastank.
Yeah.
You know that song is 20 years old this year?
Yeah.
Isn't that disgusting?
It is disgusting.
I've been graduated from high school for 20 years. I'm going to kill myself later. Yeah. Okay. So, I guess the main character is Don Cheadle's character.
Yeah.
So he's a dentist who does fancy dental work
like a
for
cosmetic
for
dentist.
assholes.
Yeah.
And
he's a veneers man.
So the whole story takes place in New York City.
New York City.
And I mean, nothing really happens at the beginning until he meets Adam Sandler.
Not really.
So he's married to noted See You Next Thursday, Jada Pinkett.
That was one of my first notes. Oh, Jada's in this. Cool.
My first note is, I love how much they hate Jada.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing is like, she's just like a demanding bitch
suffocating
wife,
him,
and he hates her.
Yeah.
Even though he says he loves her still, he still hates her.
He loves her in the way a married man who's not going to get divorced says he loves his wife. But he doesn't love his wife. Who's been
sleeping with their teenage son's friends.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Correct.
It was the role she was born to play.
Yeah, like Don Cheadle would slap someone at the Oscars for mentioning her baldness, even though they hadn't been together in 7 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Accurate. So he's just kind of like living his life, and it's not really going the way he wants it to, and he's got to like, his life's just kind of a panic mess of getting here and getting there and promising his wife he'll do this, but the busy day-to-day life of a cosmetic dentist gets in the way. So one day while he's on his way home in traffic, he sees a man leaving like a hardware store. Yeah. and it's Adam Sandler with stupid hair.
It's really stupid.
It's dumb hair.
My first two notes about him were, this is some hair by Adam Sandler, followed by, this is some acting by Adam Sandler.
So Cheeto gets out of his car and starts calling his name, but the guy, like, Sandler's got headphones on, he's carrying paint, and he like can't find him.
Yeah.
So he goes home to his bitch ass wife and says like, oh, I think I saw Charlie at like today downtown.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, did you talk to him? He's like, well, no, I called at him and he didn't answer me.
I yelled at him, I honked, I got out of my car and screamed at him.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So a little bit of time goes by, and then he again. So you see that he's like helping look after his old parents who have the perfect marriage of watching television in
watching the same show.
Yeah, in separate rooms, and his mom just talking about how much she hates the father.
Yeah.
And the dad being completely oblivious to anything going on.
It's the dream.
It's the dream. So
it's like looking into the future for Cheeto. Like, that's him and Jada.
That's him and Jada, 100%.
Yeah.
Watching Jeopardy in two separate rooms while you hate each other. A different night, he's going home, and he sees Adam Sandler riding an electric scooter with headphones on, and like just in the middle of the street. So he yells for him a couple times, and he eventually slows down at the end of the block, and Cheeto walks over, and he's just like, hey, it's so great to see you, man. Like, I haven't seen you in so many years. Like, and Sandler has like a completely blank look on his face, no idea who he is. And he's explaining, are you still practicing? Because obviously he used to be a dentist. And he's trying to talk to him, and Sandler's just like completely like, oh, am I supposed to know who you are? And acting like this is a stranger to him.
Yeah.
And he explains to him, like, come on, man, it's like me. Like, I was your college roommate. Like, we were best friends in college.
Yeah.
And he goes, were we?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah,
and
just
so
nothing.
Yeah. So they
and also the way he's expressing that he has no memory of this, I would describe as retarded.
Yes, that's an accurate statement. So the whole time Sandler is acting like a man with
severe autism. Yeah.
Like that is the way his character is portrayed.
Yeah.
For a man who and for the audience, at this point you know nothing.
Yeah, you're like, oh, he has severe autism.
Oh, his severely autistic friend was a dentist and now is too dumb to remember him.
He was a tooth savant.
He was a tooth savant. Yeah. He's a real Doogie Howser MR.
Yeah. 100%.
I'm a dentist. Yeah, exactly. So you don't know anything about him at first. So I think at this point, maybe he has a talk with Jada and you learn a little bit.
Yeah.
That like he lost his family, but that's it. Like there's no like real information about anything other than just like, have you seen him since he lost his family? And it's like, no.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And so he's going through his own personal shit, like at work. This woman, noted Hollywood A-lister Saffron Burrows.
I fucked her.
Makes an appointment, comes into his office, and she's like totally flirting with him.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, so you're here to get a veneer? And he goes, which tooth is it? And she goes, I don't know, pick one.
Whatever.
Just pick a veneer. And he's like, what? So the dental assistant leaves, and she just straight up is like, I want your black meat in my mouth.
Yeah.
That's all I've been dreaming and fantasizing about is just sucking your dick.
Yeah.
And he, is like, well, no, I'm married. I'm like, even though my wife is a complete bitch and I hate her.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this.
Still a gentleman.
Number one, coward. So yeah, kicks her out of the office and then tells her she can't come back. Like, don't book her here ever again.
Yeah.
And his loudmouth black receptionist is just a big old dumb bitch who's like,
she really gives her the business.
But it's really funny.
Yeah,
because he's like, can you please just like don't book any more appointments there? And then she's walking away. And he goes, miss, whatever. You need to find a new dentist. He's like, no, call her. Don't say it now. Call her on the phone.
Don't yell it out.
He's like,
the window.
We don't want to see your ass here ever again. No, like Dr. Johnson.
Yeah.
And the other dentist here, like, nobody wants to see you here. Get another one.
Bury your face in some yellow pages. Find a new one. We don't want you.
It's so good.
Like, it was tact was not employed.
Yeah. It was it's so good.
I was trying to place her because I'm like, I know this receptionist.
Monique.
It was, in fact, Oscar winner Monique. Barry. She's a cop on Barry.
TV show. Don't see it.
Who,
Sorry, it's not TV. It's HBO.
yeah, who was, no, she wasn't fucking Henry Winkler, because that's a bit of an age gap. But, yeah, she was in the mix. She was trying to, did Barry, no, I'm just giving Barry spoilers at this point. But no, she's a cop in Barry, and it's good. And
It's HBO. I don't watch it.
well, it's not TV, so you could.
It's true. I do like Bill Hader.
You'd actually really like the show. It's
like
great.
Bill Hader, yeah.
I say between this and Things We Lost in the Fire, 2007 was a real failed Oscar bait year. Yeah. I have no idea what Things We Lost in the Fire is about. I remember the trailers. I guess it was a year after you could get away with it, because it was the trailer for it was so, this is an Oscar movie and you need to treat it as such. And then everyone collectively said no.
I don't even think people saw it.
I don't think people saw it.
I don't even know if people saw this.
I don't know if they did.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like one of those real, like, this, Things We Lost in the Fire, anything Steve Carell has done that's not a comedy.
Anything Steve Carell's done that's not a comedy, anything Will Smith has done that's not a comedy.
Done that's not a comedy, especially if it involves being a black guy with a fake accent, because I think he does that. And then there was that one last year, Emancipation.
Nobody saw that.
Which he also does like...
Does he?
Well, he does like a southern black slave accent.
Which is also what he did for King Richard, which is weird.
The same guy.
Oh.
Yeah, and a lot of people didn't know.
A lot of people don't know that the Williams father was a slave.
Richard Williams was
from
slave
the 1800s,
who then was immortal.
That's such a better story.
An immortal slave who was just very demanding,
Why aren't they
living
telling...
his failed dreams through his two young daughters who both have big old Kate.
Why are they telling that story?
I don't know.
That's a better story.
That's a better story.
They're just a mean dad.
Would have won him a second Oscar for a movie he didn't deserve.
100%. And then, fun fact, the receptionist was also in Things We Lost in the Fire.
Really?
She had a big 07.
Good for her.
Yep.
Good for her.
Two terrible movies that didn't win awards.
Yeah. There's a couple other ones that I can definitely think of that are like... really,
the only other ones I think of are Will Smith ones, like Pursuit of Happiness, Collateral Beauty.
Yep. Concussion.
Although
they did get him nominated, but
Boo.
But that, like, he didn't win for it, obviously. But
no,
yeah,
because it was bad.
Yeah. Hitch.
I don't know about Hitch.
It might have been.
Teaching Kevin James to dance.
Kevin Smith's a completely different movie.
They're fat white guys, whatever.
Yeah, but one's... No, you're right.
No, you're right. They're fat white guys named Kevin.
Yeah. So he runs into Adam Sandler again, and he's Sandler's a little bit more like talkative and social.
He gives him a little more,
a little bit,
yeah,
and does act like he remembers him. But I mean, I don't know. Is there anything that's really like super important other than the plot? So he's
the one thing is when he asks him if he's still doing dentisting, and he's like, yeah, but like in another dimension, and it's less dentistry than it is fighting colossuses.
Taking down Colossus.
Colossi. I'm on the 12th one. I'm like, is he doing it? Is this a Shadow of the Colossus reference? Turns out very much so, which I'll have things to say about later.
Okay. So yeah, he gets invited up into his apartment.
Yeah.
And yells at him to take off his shoes.
Yeah.
And then he just like Adam Sandler immediately sits down and starts playing Shadow of the Colossus.
Yep.
And
I'm like, it was a Shadow of the Colossus reference.
And Cheadle's sort of like, trying to like ask him questions. He's like, oh, like you're remodeling your kitchen. Like he's like trying to get any information out of him. And like Sandler like is giving him nothing.
Not getting much.
So he asks him if he can use the bathroom, and he goes to the bathroom. And he kind of scopes out the rest of the apartment. He talks about his like music room.
Yeah.
And then they start talking about all of his vinyl collection.
5,500.
5,500. I'm not that close. I got 2,000 more, and I'll catch up to autistic Adam Sandler.
Well, that's just Blu-rays though. Blu-rays and DVDs are not far off.
I'm at 4 or something.
Yeah.
44. But should I start buying DVDs again?
I think so.
Is that what you're telling me?
I think that's what I'm telling you.
All right, done. I mean, they're going to be cheaper.
They are going to be cheaper. You can get another 1,000 DVDs faster than you can get another 1,000 Blu-rays.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got to go to those bins at Walmart and just start buying things.
Clear them bitches out.
Yeah.
But no doubles.
That's gonna be tough.
No doubles.
Good thing I got a list so I don't accidentally buy the same thing again. Very, very quickly, I saw they put out a Blu-ray copy of Joe's Apartment, which I was like, oh, fucking, I'm getting that.
Yep.
$50.
Wow.
Why? Guess who didn't get a $50 copy of Joe's Apartment?
Thinking you.
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's bold.
So he's in the apartment and he's sort of like trying to get him to, like, I don't know, talk to him, like be a regular person. And he can't. He's just so focused on the Shadow of the Colossus. Yeah. And is this when Cheeto plays, or does he just leave? Or does Sandler? Sandler freaks out at him and tells him to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he asks him about his family?
Something about family, yeah.
And yeah, so any time that it's brought up about like his family or the events that happened, he just freaks out.
Yeah.
And he asks if like they hired you to watch me, or, you know, like, what are you trying to get me focused on this? Like, you know, all this like psychiatrist kind of like mumbo jumbo.
I would describe Adam Sandler as the second best paranoid guy we watched of the two movies.
Oh, well, don't worry, because I have mean things to say about you and that paranoid guy in the second one.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
So
that's the end of the podcast today. We'll see you next week.
So then Cheeto goes back to work, and all of the partners in his job,
one of whom is Jonathan
Banks, who is like, I guess, the head dentist, even though it's implied
I didn't understand the hierarchy.
Yeah, because Cheeto started the office,
but somehow everyone
has been usurped by Jonathan Banks.
Yeah. By Mike Ehrmantraut.
Yeah, very weird.
Yeah.
So the Saffron Burrows is like bringing a sexual harassment thing against Don Cheadle.
Yeah, she's saying he raped her because he didn't rape her.
Because he wouldn't let her get that dark, thick, meaty chocolate. And they all want him to, like, you know, take care of it.
Yeah.
Meaning, let her suck your dick.
Yeah.
And she'll drop the charges.
Uh-huh.
And he doesn't want to do that.
Yeah.
And
again, coward.
So after having the big freak out, Sandler shows up at his house in the middle of the night and asks him if he wants to, like, hang out.
Yeah.
And then he's like, it's like, what is it, like 8 o'clock or something? It's like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And he goes like, what?
Yeah. So
yeah, it's like, so are you? What are you? An old?
I go to bed at 10.
Yeah. What are you? An old man?
That is tragic.
Yeah, it's tragic. Like he's like shitting on him for his life.
Yeah.
So they go out and I guess they just go out on the town. They
do tandem scooter riding.
And again, like, they don't talk about anything about Sandler's life.
No, it's all very surface.
Yeah. And then is that the
F-slur party?
Huh?
F-slur party?
That's after.
Okay.
So Don Cheadle has been seeing a psychiatrist, like a relationship kind of.
Yeah. Psychiatrist Liv Tyler works in his building.
Who he just sort of like,
and he
stalks her a little
waits for her to leave so he can walk out of the building with her and ask her psychiatrist questions
about him and his
without
wife.
Having to go to a psychiatrist because he's cheap.
Because he's a black Jew. And
a real Sammy Davis Jr.
Sammy Davis.
A real Lenny Kravitz.
So this time he says to him, like, I got a question for you about a friend, and like, honestly it's not about me. It's
because everything before he had been asking. Oh,
I got this friend whose wife is Jada Pinkett Smith, and she's a total cunt.
Exactly. Yeah. But this is actually asking for his friend Adam Sandler.
And this is the point where you get a little bit of information, but also is, to me, the dumbest part of the fucking movie. So there is a genuine conversation where he says to Liv Tyler, I have this friend who lost his wife and kids in a plane crash.
Yeah.
And she says, oh, when was this?
A few years ago.
And he says, a few years ago. As if we're not living in fucking New York City.
In 2006.
In 2006, after the biggest terrorist attack in the history of the world.
Yep.
And you're just going to not assume it was 9/11. And so this is the start of the movie never saying or acknowledging that it was 9/11 until almost the end of
to the point that you start thinking, wait, did they have to get the rights to 9/11 and they
Disney
couldn't afford
own
it?
9/11?
Could New Line Cinema not get? No, I think New Line was I Am Sam, but whatever this was, get the rights to 9/11.
So now knowing, okay, so Sandler's wife and kids were on one of the planes or in the building.
I think they're on the plane.
I mean, no, but like,
you don't know,
that happened during 9/11 and they died. Why is he acting autistic?
That's a great question. Yeah,
because
I think it's around this point. I'm like, look, I'm sure losing your family in 9/11 fucks you up, but I don't think it turns you retarded.
I don't think it makes you retarded. Like,
I don't think it does that.
If like he was a fully licensed, fully accomplished and well-respected dentist.
Yeah, which is almost a doctor.
Making a lot of money. Yeah, it was so close to being a doctor.
Yeah.
Making lots of money.
Yeah.
So like he's clearly like smart enough.
Yes.
But now he's like a fully autistic human.
Like can barely take care of himself.
Autism is not a thing you gain. You have it. You have it or you don't.
It is not a gift that is bestowed upon you midway through life.
Like 9/11, so 9/11 PTSD to the filmmakers is the same as being full-blown autistic.
Correct.
And so then you have to look back at the previous parts of the movie where you've seen Adam Sandler and think that's not how somebody with PTSD acts. They don't just become a completely different person who can't function as an adult.
No.
So like I know the implication is that he reverts back to a younger self before his wife and kids. So that's why he doesn't like think about them, talk about them, acknowledge his previous life. But does that mean but the way he reverts is to like a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Not to like, I don't know, like a 20-something-year-old guy in medical and dental school.
Yeah.
Like he's a child.
Correct.
He rides a scooter.
Yeah.
He has to listen to music to keep the noises and the conversations out.
Yeah.
And he plays video games and just eats the same Chinese food. Like that's an autistic person.
Yes.
Not somebody who's sad that his wife and kids
Not someone who's
died.
really sad.
Like it's so tone deaf.
It's very strange.
It's crazy. Like my note was, does 9/11 trauma give you autism?
Oh yeah, I said the same thing. It's so weird.
So we, the audience, have learned that, but it's not actively being talked about in the movie. So they go to Mel Brooks movie marathon.
Yeah, that's like starting at midnight.
So then Don Cheadle's trying to tell him like, I work tomorrow.
Yeah,
like,
this is going to be over at like 5 a.m. So he's like, go to work tired tomorrow, pussy.
You'll be tired at work tomorrow. And then he goes, yeah, but I can't. He's like, well, then just sleep. Go to bed at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Like, why are you being such a fag?
Yeah. And thus commences the F-slur party.
The F-slur party.
We hear the whole word, not even the short version, so many times in a row.
I mean, Sandler calls him it a couple times.
Yeah.
Then Cheadle says, I'm not being
I'm
it
not
a couple times.
Also says the word.
Then he calls Sandler it.
He calls Sandler, and then Sandler goes to buy tickets. Buys tickets and says one adult and one F-slur. Which is the only good moment in the movie.
Oh, I miss 2007.
It was a good time.
And you could just say it, and who
They
cares?
were just blasting it.
Who cares?
And nobody felt bad.
Nobody cared.
Yeah.
Nobody gave a second thought.
By that I mean nobody saying it felt bad or even thought they should.
No.
I'm sure.
No.
I'm sure gay people hearing it felt bad.
It's not even about gay people.
It's not about gay people.
It's not about gay people.
And to their credit, they actually because Cheadle said, "Don't say that. That's offensive." And Sandler said, "It's offensive if I say it to a gay guy." I'm just calling an F-slur.
That's true.
So they acknowledged it, which is how the word is to be used.
Yes, it's a bundle of sticks.
Yes.
And the sticks are penises, and they're pushing into each other, and then you're pulling the foreskin over it, and then that's what it is.
Yep.
So yeah, they have an F-slur party, and so yeah, there's like a part in this at this point where he's like, Don Cheadle's trying to convince people that he needs to get help, and they're like, somebody needs to support him because he's not dealing with it. He meets the parents of Sandler's wife, deceased wife, and they're just trying. They kind of are the same thing. They're like, we just want to be there for him, like we want to be a part of his family, a part of his life.
Yeah.
But he like won't talk to us.
And for a while, like acted like he also had forgotten
Acted like
them.
he didn't even know who they were.
Yeah.
And so so then they're sad that he's not getting help, but then they're also kind of mad that he's like
acting
acting this way.
Yeah.
And then we meet
the dad is Robert Klein, who has zero funny lines, even though he's a funny guy.
I didn't even notice that.
He's a comedian.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, you're right. So we meet. Well, so we've met his landlord lady, who kind of gives him a little bit of information before everything happens.
Also, she's a bad actress. I did not enjoy anything she did.
Yeah, I think she's somebody.
She's somebody, but
she's
bad in this.
She's in another Adam Sandler movie.
Oh,
that is worse than this movie.
Does she mess with the Zohan?
She is his friend's like moo wearing overweight mom that Adam Sandler has sex with in You Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we meet Sandler, who we're led to believe is his like shyster Jew lawyer guy, money man, Sugarman, but turns out that like he's not a bad guy.
No.
He was Adam Sandler's best friend, and him and his wife and kids were best friends with Sandler and his wife and kids.
Yeah.
But Sandler's just doing the same thing to him.
Yeah. So he's somehow assumed the role of Sandler's money manager.
Yeah, but like in a good way.
In a good way.
Because
he got a bunch of money.
Yeah. Well, they're like, between the government settlement
for his family exploding.
And, yeah, exactly. And so it does turn out that it was the planes, not the buildings.
Yes.
So in there, Cheadle kind of has a conversation, I think, with Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
And she just says, you can't force help on him.
Yeah.
Right? So just be there for him as a friend, and when he needs to do blah, blah, fine. So you think Cheadle's kind of like, okay, fine, I'm not gonna, I'll just be there for him. So like, hey, like let's go record shopping because like you love vinyl. I'll teach you what like good music is, because the gag is that they like Sandler always used to listen to like this like sad, sappy Bruce Springsteen stuff and all this music that Cheadle thinks is bad, and Cheadle's trying to get him to listen to like Motown and
the OJ's Earth, Wind and Fire, blah blah blah.
So they get there, and then there's this random guy in the background who I immediately recognized.
Q.
It's fucking Q, and you know Q's a plant that Cheadle's put there to like as a therapist friend of his who he's gonna try and talk to Sandler, and
Sandler clocks it immediately. Like, fuck this guy.
Yeah, because he's autistic, and autistic people can recognize when people
they're really good at
bullshitters.
Reading.
Yeah, you know, 100%.
Really good at reading people.
I can see this guy's personality and his mannerisms. I understand human beings.
Yep.
So yeah, he gets found out that he's not, you know, he's there as a therapist. Oh, fucking, we skipped over a big thing. After the Mel thing, he checks his phone. His wife has called him a bunch of times, and turns out
your dad died.
His dad died in his sleep.
Yeah.
So he's. And, you know, I called you and you just didn't answer, and like your mom's here and she's really upset, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So he like tells Sandler, like, hey, like my dad just died. And he goes, okay, do you want to
go get
breakfast?
Chinese? Oh, breakfast. Yeah.
And he's like, no, I have to go. My dad is like, well, yeah, but he's like, we just had a great dose of Mel. Like, you
can't waste this Mel.
Let's not waste the Mel. Like, let's go. So they get in a big fight, and then turns out like then the way that we meet Sugarman is that Sandler wants to give $1 million to Cheadle as an apology for making him upset, which is when Sugarman gets involved, and then that's when you realize that like he's a good guy and Cheadle's a good guy, because Cheadle's like, I don't want his fucking money.
Yeah,
I have no interest in his money, and then that's kind of when you realize more of the story.
Yeah. And then Cheadle and, you know, because he missed his dad dying and all that, he and Jada get into it a bit. I also forgot my earlier line. That's a nice full head of hair, Jada. And
hope it doesn't go anywhere.
And they get into it, and he's like, you're being jealous. And like, Cheadle's one of those like married guys who has no friends. Yeah. It's like just Jada.
Work and home.
Yeah. And now he's got Charlie, and he's like, you're jealous of Charlie. And she's like, no, you're jealous of Charlie and his freedom. And I'm like, yeah, fucking right. I'd be jealous of my widower friend's awesome freedom if I was married to you, you fucking bitch.
100%. Like, Jada is not a likable character.
No, she sucks.
She's awful.
Yeah.
Like, and
it's the role she was born to play.
I mean, it's natural.
It's perfect casting.
They probably gave her other ways of acting it, and then she just ignored them and just was herself. because that's 100% how she plays it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no redeeming qualities.
No.
Like, not likable at all. So, is there anything that's until like we get to sort of like the big sad reveals and stuff? There's nothing else really in there, right?
Not really.
Like,
I guess
he's mad at Cheadle for bringing Q in to talk to him.
Yeah.
He then does agree to talk to a therapist, but he's not talking to Q because he's a nerd.
Yeah, exactly.
He's very specific about, like, guy's a fucking square man.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's such a loser.
He's a dork.
I don't want to talk to that guy.
Yeah.
So he takes him to live Tyler.
Little do you know, he's one of the most powerful beings in the universe.
100%. Yeah, exactly.
Idiot.
So he takes him.
He could have zapped all your autism away.
Or he could have
brought your family
He could have
back.
brainwashed you into thinking you were living somewhere else, and you would have never known.
Yeah.
He would have just and you're like back to happy days of, your wife and kids aren't burnt to a crisp from jet fuel that definitely.
I heard
melts
jet fuel
steel beams.
I heard jet fuel can't melt
Jewish kids.
God damn, do I want that to be in the write-up, but I actually can't do that one. Luckily, we have...
you know what?
we have TransLink and Sherman Meow.
You know what's so stupid?
What is so stupid?
Of course they wouldn't be in the buildings. They would have gotten the call.
You can deduce.
Of course
They had
they're
to
on
be
the
on the
plane.
plane. That none of them were in the building. Al Franken put out a call.
September 11th, 2001 to September 12th, 2001. All of the Jewish cemeteries stayed at an even number. Nobody died that day.
God damn, do I want to write jet fuel can't melt Jewish children? But
We are so not monetized on this episode.
This could be a tough
if
one.
If they
but-
get to 2
but we'll
hours
see.
and realize that
Hey, human reviewer,
jokes.
Quit at an hour 50.
Jokes and jokes and jokes and jokes and spaghetti. 8 Mile!
So let me put this to you. Put yourself in this.
Let me put this in you.
Put yourself in this position. You are one of the designers, one of the key designers. You can't leave. This is a participation. You're one of the key designers of the game Shadow of the Colossus for PlayStation 2.
Correct.
Okay?
I'm Hiroshima Nagasaki.
A major Hollywood picture comes to you and say, we are going to heavily feature your video game in our movie with A-list actors.
Okay.
How do you feel when you watch the movie and every single time they refer to the title of your game, they say Shadows of the Colossus? Every single time by multiple characters. Do you blow your goddamn brains out?
Well, I think at that point it's a little too late.
It is, but like, how pissed are you?
Yeah.
That they use it so much, and clearly someone somewhere had to have a physical copy of the game where it said the name on the outside of the box.
You'd think.
And every single person Christopher Reeves'd it.
Also, not like the internet doesn't exist.
I believe the internet was
You
present.
can just Bing Shadow of the
In
Colossus.
2006-07 when this was made. Yeah. Every single time got the name wrong. Infuriating.
Idiots.
Yeah. I love it, despite the lack of mention of 9/11 until quite near the end. Just the way it was referred, like when those monsters, like, I'm like, man, it's an obvious observation, but like, you forget how much 9/11 messed America up. Like, they were not okay for about 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, it really did a number.
Yeah, because they thought they were untouchable.
Yeah. I'm glad we took them down.
Turns out they were very much touchable.
super touchable.
Super touchable kids. Yeah, like I would assume, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm giving them too much credit, that they didn't mention 9/11 because they didn't want it to be like a focal point of what their movie is about.
I think that's probably
they didn't
part
want
of
to
it.
make a 9/11 Oscar bait movie.
Yeah.
But it's not like you can't say it in the movie.
Yeah.
Like when you're saying they died in a plane crash. Oh, when was this? You couldn't like, cause, oh,
It was like late, if I remember right, late summer 2001.
Yeah, it was like right before the fall. Something like that.
Right before the fall of the World Trade Center.
But so stupid.
Yeah.
So he agrees to go see Liv Tyler, but
He's difficult.
he doesn't want to talk. And like,
no.
they keep having sessions, and the sessions are always him just saying like, "Is the session over?" And she goes, "If you want it to be over," and he goes, "Okay," and then he leaves. Like that's how it is. And eventually, she kind of gets to him and says like, "Eventually, you're going to have to tell something.
Like take your time, but like if we're not actually ever getting to the meat of things, this is pointless."
So at this point, like Cheeto is kind of like a little bit more mellowed on the like pressuring him, trying to get like he's just kind of like hanging out with him.
Yeah.
So he's in the lobby, he's just sitting there reading a magazine, whatever. Oh, anytime Sandler gets like in a very emotional state, he puts his headphones on and just like blasts some shitty dad rock.
Yeah.
But it's always like emotional, like sad songs.
Yeah.
So when the Liv Tower is telling him this thing about like if you're never gonna talk about it, you're not gonna get anywhere, then these are pointless. And she's like saying like, do you want to talk? You should talk about your wife. You should talk about your kids. And he like puts on a Bruce Springsteen song and just like cranks the volume.
Headphones, definitely got to headphones.
But the headphones are like sitting around his neck. They're not on his ears. So he walks out into the lobby, and Cheeto's reading the magazine, and Cheeto has some like throwaway comedy line thing. So with the music blasting, he sits down and he just starts to like tell Cheeto about his wife and kids.
Yeah.
And like all the things he loves about them and misses about them, and like blah blah. He's giving him all this information. And he starts to cry and get emotional and stuff. But like the whole time I'm just sitting there like, I hope that Sandler needed the music.
Yeah.
In order to cry, because this entire movie has not actually been sad.
Correct.
And that the music for him is like the sad thing. So he's like, I'll put on the saddest Bruce Springsteen song I can think of. I'll listen to that and I'll just naturally cry.
Born in the USA.
Born in the USA. My kids are dead. It's very cheesy.
Yeah.
And he's overacting it.
He doesn't do a good job. To be fair, nobody does a good job in this movie.
Yeah, if you were to ask me,
there are people in this movie who have done good jobs before. Nobody does one here.
No. I don't know who the best actor in this movie was. Because like even like Q was overacting, Sugarman was overacting,
Donald Sutherland was overacting.
Maybe Dom was the best part.
Don might still be the best part though. Or
he's usually the best part in most.
Or Ted Raimi.
If you don't think my note says Joxer the Mighty, then you're wrong.
I could not buy him less as a lawyer.
No, he does not.
Like, that's not a lawyer. That's Ted Raimi.
Yeah. Come on. That's Xena's shitbag friend who gets beaten up all the time.
Yeah. No lawyer has hair that bad.
No, yeah. He's got a real bad hairline.
But not even,
you
not
are
even
lucky.
the hair. Like lawyers can be balding. I'll allow that. But they don't do that with their hair. He looks ridiculous.
You're lucky your brothers had such a great directing career, or else you'd be out in the streets, bub.
Out of the goddamn streets.
Although I do like Ted. He's
great.
He's pretty fun.
I love Ted, but he's not a lawyer.
So all of this is sort of like coming down to that he's been renovating his kitchen nonstop, like repainting and reinstalling stuff and then
for
tearing
5
it
or 6
down
years.
and then redoing it. But he has like a kind of violent outburst. Well, he's had a couple because he destroyed Don Cheadle's office earlier in the movie because he asked him a question about if he missed being a dentist.
So
and then he said like, "Why would you ask me that? Like, what, do you think I care about being a dentist? Like, why are you trying to get me focused on my life?"
Yeah.
And then he freaks out, destroys everything, whatever. And then the big freak out that gets him in trouble is he
Gets a gun.
Yeah, but what oh, sorry. It is after he trauma dumps on Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
He goes home in the apartment. He's like watching like the news on full blast.
Yeah. Maybe I'll blow my brains out.
And then he just decides like, this is, they've ruined the illusion of this world I've built without my dead kids and wife and dog. That
But it was just a poodle.
it's just poodle, gives a shit. That I'm just gonna go like, this is it. So he's gonna blow his brains out, but he's too scared. He can't do it. So he concocts this
And doesn't
plan.
his mother-in-law...
No, it's the landlady.
Oh, sorry, the landlady.
The landlady comes because they're like, the neighbors are complaining that you made too much noise and that the TV's too loud, but I told him you don't watch the TV. He just storms out.
Sneaks out with the gun.
So he goes out and he goes to next to like a donut shop.
Yeah.
Where there's cops.
Uh-huh.
And he's essentially going to pull the plan where he wants the cops to shoot him,
He's trying to do a suicide by cop.
which is kind of the best way to go.
Yeah.
If you really want to die, like, yeah, you can jump off a bridge in the middle of the night in the darkness. Who cares?
Yeah.
But getting cops to blow you away in the middle of the streets,
pretty cool.
It was pretty sick.
Yeah.
So he pulls a cop on a taxi driver, and he's holding the gun, and then the cops
police
come
see
out,
it.
and he's literally like saying, kind of under his breath to the cops, like, "Do it, you
Yeah.
fucking-"
And like he's pointing the gun at the cop.
Yeah.
I was wondering if...
A New York cop wouldn't shoot.
I was wondering if it would have went as well if, say, I don't know, Don Cheadle had been pointing the gun at the cop. Would they have shown as much restraint?
Or Don Cheadle runs in, grabs the gun from Adam Sandler, throws it on the ground, and then gets shot anyways. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he gets tackled and he gets arrested, and now his parents-in-law are very concerned about his like mental state and all of the,
And like after the arrest, they want to do a psych eval.
they want psych eval, which he won't do, and now they're going to go to court over whether or not he needs to be like in a mental institution or. So they all this legal happenings go, and
then we get Don Sutherland and BJ Novak out of nowhere.
Yeah. So, but first, so Ted Raimi is one of the lawyers for him.
Yeah.
And he's the first person in the entire movie, and we're like an hour 40 into the movie, who finally says 9/11.
Yeah. Because they obviously he'd be just in jail for longer, but they're like, 9/11 widower gets like tackled by cops, not a great look. So they're gonna be pretty lenient about this.
Yeah. So he's we're almost 2 hours into a movie and they finally say 9/11.
2 hours into a movie about 9/11.
9/11. Yeah. So, So now, we get. I just wrote. I love Judge Big Don Sutherland.
Yeah.
Like. Don Sutherland's an amazing actor.
He's great.
But he was like he was probably the best actor of the movie, even though he was still overacting.
He was fine in the courtroom, but in his chambers, he was a little much.
He was a little silly.
Yeah.
He was a silly goose.
Yeah.
But
when he was giving it to BJ Novak.
Yeah, that was, and Sugarman.
And Sugarman. Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah, and then BJ Novak, who so one of the big things was they brought Liv Tyler up onto the stand in defense of Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
And they're like questioning how much like she actually knows about life trauma and blah blah, because like how old even are you, which I know the gag is having BJ Novak ask him that,
who's a child,
but it's such a stupid thing to go on the stand and be like, I'm 26, you're 30, how much do you even know? I don't know anything, I'm just a baby. Like, it's such a dumb visual. But yeah, and like BJ Novak I thought he was okay, but he was again, everyone was fucking overacting. And so I guess if we're going to do, the way my notes are written, I watched I Am Sam first.
I did too.
So I wrote, oh, great. More unrealistic courtroom drama involving someone who's retarded.
Yep.
Because like the 100%. Way they treated him it's even worse in I Am Sam.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. But in this, like the way that they were treating him was not like somebody who they're like, oh, he's got this horrific post-traumatic disorder that's caused him to go fully retarded. And like, you know,
As it does.
let's not treat him like a normal human being. Let's treat him like a psychopath
Yeah.
who's like out on the streets killing people and doesn't understand like right and wrong. Like,
Yeah.
like that's the way that they sort of like look at him.
Totally.
And it's like, that's not how this works. So yeah, ultimately, like, you know, there's like this, I think the only genuinely nice moment, or the moment that I was like, okay, this isn't bad, was when, because like they have the big courtroom, all the conversations about everything.
Yeah.
And his mother-in-law is like, you know, like, why are you trying to forget them and like act like they don't exist, blah blah. And then when they're waiting for the court ruling, and then he comes back upstairs and he does that stupid Adam Sandler overacting where he's like goes back.
Oh, the walking back and forth.
Like he's gonna go talk to them, then he turns around and goes back to the court.
Yeah.
He turns back around like he's gonna talk to them. I was like, that's fucking stupid.
It was silly. Yeah.
But then when he does give that kind of speech, that was like the only
that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was the only part of the movie that I was like, okay, like this is pretty good. Where he's saying like, literally every single child I look at is my kid.
Yeah, I don't need to carry a picture around.
And he's like, even every goddamn dog I look
every
at,
fucking German Shepherd.
German Shepherd is a
that
fucking poodle, right? And then he goes over and gives her a nice kiss on the cheek, and then she like kind of breaks down. I was like, okay, that is the only good part of this movie.
Completely agree. Yeah.
Like that was like a genuine.
And even the
moment.
lead up to it was bad.
Yeah, exactly.
But it itself was good.
Yeah. So yeah, they go back in the courtroom, and he's.
I don't think they even show going back in the courtroom. I think it's just
he goes back in, but they don't show the actual.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next thing they show is all of the main characters, other than Sandler, or the main players in his thing.
Yeah.
Showing up at his apartment, and the landlady just saying like he moved out, he
left
didn't
no
leave-
forwarding
didn't leave
address.
forward us, no note. Like nobody, we don't know where he is, and that as far as they know, like that's kind of the end of it. But then they show Don Cheadle, and he's at some other apartment, so he's like secretly helped him move, so he can just be like away from everybody and away from the apartment he lived in. And he brings Saffron Burrows over to, in theory, suck Adam
fuck him,
Sandler's dick. Which hey, good for him.
Hey, Adam, I know you're feeling down, but I brought this slut.
I brought this whore. She's gonna come over here, and even though your dick's not black and meaty like mine, it's
try your best.
You just do what you gotta do, buddy.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, it's crazy that they think that your family dying in 9/11 is the same thing as like
turning retarded.
Asperger's.
Yeah. It's a weird, insane, tone deaf movie.
Very much. Not as weird and insane, and probably as tone deaf.
Which
as
brings us to even better failed Oscar bait.
Yeah.
2001's I Am Sam. Shumpet didn't get nominated for this, right?
I don't think he did. I think it was one of the ones where it was bait, and they were like,
and for once they were wise enough
to realize that Sean Penn's kind of a piece of shit,
not to take the bait.
I think it was nominated for a couple things. It was nominated for one Oscar for best actor in a leading role.
Oh, he was nominated. Ugh, barf.
Was it nominated for Golden Globes?
As was Will Smith for Ali.
That's a fucking terrible year. Who did we give it to?
Did we keep it on Denzel for Training Day?
Oh yeah, probably.
I can tell you though.
I can't believe it didn't get nominated for
worst movie.
No, like best original song.
Oh yeah,
because Eddie Vedder wrote a song specifically for the movie.
But it's a cover though.
Is it? I guess it is a cover.
Yeah, it's a Beatles cover.
Yeah.
So
So maybe,
maybe it
doesn't count. It did get the soundtrack got nominated for a Grammy. Surprise, surprise! A soundtrack full of Beatles songs.
What do you know?
Got nominated for a Grammy.
What did we give awards to? Best actor. We both did Denzel.
Okay, sick. Here is a very silly award that I just saw in the list of awards for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
In the Il Festival Nacional de Doppiaggio Voci nell'Ombra.
Okay.
some Italian thing. It was nominated for Best Character Actor Voice for the dubbing of Diane Weiss by Vittoria Febbi. I don't know what that means. So, like, they were giving out an award
For
in
the
Italian
dub.
the best dubbing of an
And
American.
she did a good job dubbing Diane
But didn't
Weiss.
win.
Oh, sad.
Didn't win. She was just nominee.
I wonder who won that year.
I don't know. I've never even fucking heard of this thing. I mean, it's some Italian film festival in 2002, but it's just such a silly award to give away. Hey, who can read these English lines in Italian the best?
Yeah, that's a good word. The title of the movie is in lowercase because Phoebes don't know how to capitalize.
Correct. I also like that it had like a very simple-minded person like music intro, like
Yes.
very like childlike.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, for those who somehow know of Tropic Thunder and not this,
Simple Jack.
Ben Stiller's character, who's like a prestige actor.
He's like a big action star.
Yeah.
He's like the Stallone of the characters.
Right. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. Downey is the prestige actor.
Yes.
Yeah. But Ben Stiller wanted to get away from the action stuff and do Oscar bait. So he did Simple Jack.
Yeah.
Where he plays a full retard, which spawns the phrase, you never go full retard. That is because of this movie.
100%.
This is the full retard
This
movie.
is the movie.
This one and the one other one with Giovanna Ribisi and Juliette Lewis.
Oh, Benny and June.
The other sister?
The other sister.
Yeah. Those are the two, like, full retard movies that Simple Jack is mocking.
Yeah.
And it is, in fact, good advice. Don't look. It
is very good advice.
Sean, it got you a nomination, but at what cost?
I don't know. Got him a SAG award.
Stick to playing dead gays. Those will get you the wins, not the noms.
I guess. I mean, he's good in some other stuff. He's Mystic River.
Yep.
He's really good.
Tree of Life. You love Tree of Life.
Love Tree of Life.
Another movie.
A second movie. Oh, Casualties of War.
Okay.
It's pretty graphic.
There you go.
There's a lot of Vietnam rape in that movie.
Nice.
Not good. Is it Brian De Palma? I think it's Brian De Palma.
Could be. Yeah.
Should we do more Brian De Palma movies?
I see no reason not to.
I don't know. Oh, yeah.
Does Starbucks want the advertising they're getting in this movie?
I don't know. I mean, were Starbucks huge in 2001?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because they even did like the reference, like, oh, which Starbucks is it? There's one in every corner.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know if they really should have put their stamp of approval on this, but I guess the visuals of the Starbucks are very limited.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I don't know. So Sam is a man who was born with less brain capacity than the rest of us. I felt like, because I hadn't seen it in so long, I felt like there was definitely a part of it where they implied that, but watching it back, it wasn't that, but that they had implied that he had he wasn't always dumb, that he had suffered something.
Sandler style.
Yes, but he had brain trauma or lack of oxygen or something.
But no, he was born that way.
He was born this way.
Yeah.
So he works at a Starbucks.
Yeah.
And he's
not allowed to make coffee though.
But he's also got autism because he needs to have all the packages of sugar and sugar replacements organized by color, perfectly fitting into their little things on every table. And he goes around and
I like that part of the movie.
And he tells everybody that he knows everybody's order, and he says that's a great choice.
Yeah.
But he's lying because some of them are not great choices.
Some are bad.
So I think somebody got some kind of cinnamon something, and I immediately said, "You're wrong.
Never a good order.
Terrible."
Yeah, that's true.
Then he's he's like everybody's buddy, and then his boss tells him, "Sam, it's time."
The logistics of this
Vader time.
The logistics of this day are absurd.
Go to work.
Then your boss tells you.
Then your boss has to tell you
it's time for you to go to the hospital to witness the homeless woman you raped give birth. That's a weird day.
That's a weird day. It's a weirder day than you and I are having.
I don't know if you go to work that day. I don't know if you do a half day.
I think he was doing less than a half day. I mean, it was still pretty early.
Morning. Yeah. I think maybe you take that day off.
Nah, not when you're cleaning those tables. Scott, those packets aren't going to organize themselves.
Not every day does the homeless woman you raped give birth.
I don't...
Or I guess who raped you?
I think
he can't consent.
I think it's that.
Also, why'd she keep it? None of it makes sense.
Oh, the whole thing doesn't make sense. It's literally that they had thought of the rest of the movie,
and then they had to.
And then they were like, "But how does he?
How could he possibly have a child?" Because look, I don't believe that someone in this condition is capable of producing viable offspring, let alone even having sex to completion.
Yeah, I don't. I think,
how did this happen? Like, the movie should have been about how that kid was made. That's a more interesting movie.
It is. Yeah. I don't know that there is a...
Because the only thing that was ever said was... All he ever said was she needed a place to sleep.
Yeah.
And that was it. And then he goes there, she squirts out the kid, then they go to get on the bus, and she runs away, never to be seen again. That's a wrap on homeless lady.
Never be mentioned really again.
Insane.
Yeah. It's pretty weird way to set up a plot of a story.
Yeah. So somewhere pretty early on, I write, "Oh God, this performance already."
Yeah.
It's just Sean Penn acting like this. It's not a character.
Yes.
And it's all you can see.
It's what if Sean Penn's in the birth canal, his umbilical cord had accidentally been wrapped around him a little bit.
Well, here's the problem. It's also the reason you can only see that it's Sean Penn doing this is because this condition doesn't really exist. It's some weird movie only combination of Down syndrome and autism.
Yes.
Which isn't a thing. And like, you only see this in movies.
Like, he has
he acts like he has Down syndrome.
Yeah,
but doesn't look like he has Down syndrome, because as we established, they all look the same. Mm-hmm. But then also,
that's proof of God.
It is proof of God. But then also does autistic stuff. And it's not a real condition, and it's very annoying.
Yeah, it again, it is the tone deafness of not knowing that there are different things.
Yeah.
Like, everything is just under one umbrella, that like this is all
This is the retarded umbrella.
This is the retarded umbrella. And everybody's under here.
Yeah.
And they just have all of the same
pick and choose,
mannerisms and characteristics, and because he's definitely got he's got the OCD and the sort of like the personality traits of somebody who's got autism.
Yeah, but then also
the brain capacity.
Yeah, talks like and has the brain capacity of someone with Down syndrome.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I did like that they revealed the ringer levels of casting for this one.
Oh, I definitely wrote
is that something you're... So he's taking care of the baby by himself, and he doesn't really know how to. And then there's a neighbor who lives across the courtyard from him, who she's a shut-in, and has kind of been looking out for him. So he ends up having to take the baby over to her place so that she can help him look after the baby. And but like, the thing is, like, he's capable enough of like heating up a bottle and giving her a bottle. Yeah. But he's not capable enough of understanding how much time has passed.
The consistency is not great.
So she gives him put your TV on Nickelodeon, and when Hogan's Heroes is on, you feed her, and then keep watching. And then when
I did like that she had the early morning Nickelodeon lineup memorized.
Bam. This.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, he very inconsistent in what his capabilities are, and his abilities to do one thing that's sort of like a little complex, but something that's less complex than that, impossible to him. Brain doesn't function like that.
Yeah. Here we go. Why do we insist on mocking disabled people right to their goddamn faces in every one of these movies?
I don't know.
I cannot imagine what it would take. Obviously, there is a price, but for me to play disabled
Yes.
to a disabled person,
Yeah.
I would feel like absolute fucking garbage.
And like a couple of those guys were very disabled.
Yeah, and a couple were just actors.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like of the disabled kids.
Oh yeah,
Like 2 of the disabled guys
Were disabled.
like very disabled.
Yeah.
And like to the point where they barely gave them lines.
Yes.
But then the 2 like main guys that are in his posse
Yeah.
are played by regular actors. Like
Yeah.
one's the scumbag from The Green Mile.
Yep.
And the other one reminded me of Scott.
I don't think that's accurate. Yeah, so
But I was the other one because he knew too much about movies, and I was like, well, I'm glad to see which one of the posse I am.
yeah, so I had 2 things. Where am I? I think this is the first time I've actually been offended by a performance. And then I said, Doug Hutchison's, he's the Green Mile guy,
Yeah.
Rain Man style performance is even more uncomfortable than Sean Penn's.
It really, yeah, it really is.
It was
Yeah.
awful.
And big time overacting,
yeah.
like very exaggerated.
I mean, he was
crazy.
really Rain Manning.
He was really trying to like steal the spotlight from
Yeah.
the other guy doing a bad retard
Yeah.
position.
So you thought the paranoid guy was me?
I was just being mean.
I'm not paranoid. You're just mean.
I was just being mean because also he was a little bit effeminate
Like me.
like you, and he was a little bit paranoid like you, and he I don't know. I was just trying to be mean because sometimes I like to be mean to you.
That's fair.
Yeah, so he's got his little posse who are like, sort of helping him look after the baby as much as they can. Now we get our second Star Trek appearance.
Lieutenant Commander Data.
Lieutenant Commander Data is the guy selling
Shoe
shoes.
salesman. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I wasn't, because I had it on the laptop while playing video games and started like, doing both. But I guess I'd pause the game to like go to the bathroom or get up or do something.
Yeah.
And I just heard his voice. I didn't see his face. I just heard his voice.
Like Data.
And I was like,
Brent,
it's fucking
Brent
Data.
fucking Spiner.
Like, where is he? Where is he? Full head of hair. Creepy. And not black. I don't like it. And like not very pale.
No, it wasn't pale enough.
But I heard his voice. I didn't even see his face, and I knew it was him.
That's all you need.
I like when cast members of Star Trek are in
That was fun.
movies about people who
But you
are
do
fake
feel
retarded.
like they should be their Star Trek character. I don't buy Brent Spiner as a shoe salesman. I buy him as an android.
No. Yeah, I agree.
And I don't buy John Delancey as a therapist.
I think he could be a therapist.
No, he's a magical being.
Okay, he's a magical being who's billions of light years old
Yeah.
and can control the
Yeah,
universe.
he's billions of miles old, Drew. Light years are a measure of distance, not
sorry.
time. God.
No, he's not God. But he's pretty close.
He's basically God.
He's pretty close.
He's from a race of gods.
He is from a race of gods. Yeah.
I think it's somewhere around here that I was probably looking up Doug Hutchison, and I'm like, the fucking Fanning sisters play the kid.
Younger version, and then
Yeah, L is the younger version, and Dakota's like the
regular
6-year-old.
one. The regular one.
Yeah, crazy.
Yep. I thought she was very good for being a kid actress. I thought she was very good.
She did a good job.
I mean, obviously, we know she gets better with age, but
Everything about her gets better,
to a certain,
and then stops.
yeah. Just ask Jim Norton.
Yeah, but no, she did a good job as a kid here. I think she was like 7 here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like very believable, and like
Yeah.
all of her line delivery was really solid. Didn't seem like it was like,
Yeah.
okay, Dakota, now say this
Yeah, yeah.
line, now say this line. Like it seemed like she actually
It seemed
like,
pretty natural.
got it.
Yeah.
Nope, lost it.
Oh, too bad.
So next is the birthday party. That's the next note I have.
I think so. Yeah, one of I
no.
had took a while to drop an R word, but we got there. One of Dakota's friends,
The kid.
yeah, said her.
What is your dad retarded?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, yeah, 2 movies with R's.
Mm-hmm.
An R or an R and an F.
R and F.
R and F.
Yeah, Rob Feinstein. Good guy.
Yep.
You can do it.
No, so before that is when he gets called into the school.
Yeah.
Right. So before the birthday party, he gets called to go to the school.
Yeah.
And they're trying to explain to him that she is intentionally holding herself back
because she doesn't want
so
to
that she doesn't want to get
you.
smarter than her father.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Do you understand what we're telling you?" And he just kind of blankly open mouth stares.
I do not.
Yeah. And then that's when we meet the sort of like child care officer who's there to kind of oversee the situation. And then she shows up at the party to kind of talk to him about her, but it's a surprise party.
It's poor timing.
And anyways, he tries to get everybody to go back to like because they accidentally surprised.
They had a false alarm
surprise. They try to get everybody to go back, and the kid is like, he probably already knows that you're doing the party.
Yeah.
And he's like, why would you say that? And so he tries to get the kid to go back to his spot, and then the kid's dad, like, don't shove my kid.
Yeah.
And shoves Sam just as they get in the room.
Yeah.
So she sees that, and that upsets her. She runs away. Then they call the cops. They go and get her. And then it he does.
Was this before or after he got arrested for solicitation?
That's before.
Okay.
He does the worst overacting I think I've ever seen in a movie. It's
bad.
He's sitting in the back of the police car with the Child Protective Services lady.
Yeah.
And she has run away, and she's sitting inside of like a photo booth at some mall or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like yelling, "It's a birthday! Don't take on a birthday!"
Yeah.
And it's like the worst overacting.
It's tough.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of that the further the movie goes.
Yes.
If you're going to Can I?
Yes. I think you can. I've decided you can.
I don't know that I've ever seen somebody that retarded cry for real.
Yeah.
And he was just doing it
a lot. Yeah.
And I don't think that they're
gotta get that nomination.
I don't think that they're capable of that. Now we get to the arresting.
Yeah. Which was bullshit.
I wrote, how did the cops not realize he's mentally challenged
also, he
when they
didn't
arrested
give her money?
No, and but I guess if it was a regular John, then the perception of the car, I guess, whatever, fine.
I guess, but I thought that was bullshit. But if he had a half-decent lawyer, he'd get out of that.
But how do you not grab him to arrest him and realize,
he's fully retarded.
This guy has the brain capacity of a child.
Yeah.
But no, they slam him on the ground, or they slam him into the car,
or onto the table,
or the table. Yeah, maybe the table.
Yeah,
maybe the table. But it's how do you not?
Yeah,
grab the guy, realize he's not mentally capable of understanding the situation. And
seems like all cops are bad,
but all cats are beautiful.
All cats are beautiful.
Yeah, that was just a very insane. There's no way cops would do that. I feel like movies a lot of the times will just portray cops as the bare bottom of the barrel, scumbags.
Yeah.
There's never any very good cops. No cop in a movie is ever competent.
No.
Or a real human being who has a good understanding of oh yeah, my job is this, but I should be observant of my surroundings. And this retarded guy is maybe we shouldn't physically assault him. They're always just you're going to jail, buddy. Bam. It's so stupid.
Somewhere along the line I wrote, I love that the classic movie code for retarded is uncombed hair. Because he's all about that.
That is true.
He's doing some real hair acting.
Yeah, he really is. That's funny. I never thought of that.
And then related to this, because then they're maybe we should take the kid away. So I'm like, so it was fine for a fully retarded man to raise a child by himself from birth until age 6.
Yes.
But now it's an issue.
Well, because he's trying to get his dick greasy.
Because she might get smarter than him.
Yeah. Well, what happens when the kid's smarter than the dad? Then the kid's looking after the dad, and that's not much of a life for the child.
But isn't that no worse than a fully enfeebled man taking care of a baby?
Yeah, the whole concept itself is insane. How they're perfectly fine with everything up to this point. Like, nobody even questions it.
No.
The only way that they even get mad about it is he gets arrested. But, like, if he hadn't gotten arrested, nothing would have happened.
No. Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess getting arrested is more important to them than, like, maybe not even raising a child correctly.
Remembering to feed her.
I guess. I don't know. And the way he was reading Green Eggs and Ham.
he was going for
something about it.
He was going for it.
That's not how a regular human being speaks. Let alone anybody who's on the spectrum. But just, it was the most cringy, painful thing to watch.
It was bad.
Him doing this character and just getting excited over Green Eggs, and I couldn't.
Yeah.
And then they do it like, I don't know, 4 times.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that he has a meeting at I guess probably back at IHOP. It's his spot with his buddies. And so at this point I was like, so is one of his friends' disabilities just that he's a conspiracy theorist? I mean, I guess that's a kind of retarded.
It is. Listen to Tom McDonald albums.
And then the most fully for reals Down syndrome guy. I'm like, I'm sorry. Did a fully Downsed man just vet lawyers for him?
Yeah, he did.
I'm like, that's not
and not only
who I would have guessed to do it first.
And not just a lawyer, but like one of the biggest lawyer agencies in town. Like, who's the ones that never lose cases? This one here.
Yeah.
Call them. They'll do it for you.
You can't read. What are you doing?
They gotta let him do something, Scott. He's the only one in the movie who's actually got it that can function.
So then we get the hotshot lawyer Michelle Pfeiffer, and I'm like, shout out Michelle, you got to sit out the first 40 minutes of this movie, but it's all over now.
Yeah, looking pretty good though.
Looking good.
Looking real good.
Looking real good.
Snack.
Also, shout out to the ratings of this movie. 86% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, 28% critic Metascore. Bit of difference between
a little bit of discrepancy
the
there.
Critical reception and the general public.
I don't remember what it was on Letterboxd, but not high.
Probably
or
not
actually high. Was it one of the ones that was shockingly high?
Oh, is it one of those?
I think
that's a shame. You hate to see it.
Typing with one hand that's not your dominant hand is pretty hard. What if I told you it was a 3.4?
Too high. That's out of 5, by the way, people. The other...
I gave it a 2. Might be too high.
Like a 4 out of 10? 4 out of 10 is too high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you did a bad job. I think you should lose your license.
Okay.
Michelle Pfeiffer is an expensive lawyer, and Sam is a minimum wage part-time employee at Starbucks, so she can't take the case. But then later she takes the case out of spite.
Yeah,
because he comes to see her at some function. And because she just like lied to him,
yeah, she said
I got a friend who can maybe help you out, and she doesn't. And then that's a funny picture of him on Letterboxd. And so then he comes to see her, and he's like, "Did you get the friends number?" And she's like, "No."
I don't have their number anymore.
And then her friends at the function were like, "Who's that, Phoebe?" And she's like, "Oh, it's just a client. I'm doing some pro bono work." And they're like, "You pro bono?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then that's why she takes the case, because everyone thinks she's a money grubbing bitch.
Well,
and if the shoe fits. Then the next thing I wrote was his fall down the stairs. which actually I take back what I said about the Oscar nomination, because that fall was fucking beautiful.
It was pretty good.
So it's because now he only has like visitation with the daughter.
Well, yeah.
While things are pending.
Yeah, I think because they go to court.
Yeah.
And Michelle Pfeiffer's like not really that helpful. She doesn't really.
Not really.
And Sam doesn't do himself any favors by just like being retarded and talking.
Yeah, and Toby from West Wing, who is literally playing Toby from the West Wing, has really given him the business.
Richard Schiff.
Yep.
Yeah. I know him as Eddie from Jurassic Park 2. He's the one that gets ripped in half by the two T-Rexes.
I know him as Odin from God of War in a strange casting choice.
That game is weird.
Yep.
So they go to the court initially, and maybe that's that's my note.
Yeah.
Just like, again, how unbelievably mean everybody in the courtroom
Real mean.
is being to somebody who is very disabled.
Yeah.
Like Richard Schiff, but even the judge.
Who is?
Like Kate Blanchett.
It was not Kate Blanchett.
Margot Robbie.
It's Bob Kelso, baby.
That was the first judge? No, that was the second judge.
Sorry.
First judge was a lady.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Later on.
Don't worry. I made a note. Judge Bob Kelso.
Yeah. Good. Me too.
No, it was a lady, and
you're right.
Even she was just being like super mean.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you know, like they're treating him like he doesn't have, like he's not a person.
Yeah.
That they're just like, let's just talk over and around this guy.
Completely.
And don't even include him in this.
Yeah.
Granted, it's not like he's going to be doing himself any favors if he does talk.
Certainly not.
But yeah, just
still.
how like just visceral they are to him about everything.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey, dummy, shut up and sit down. I think there was like one very dumb line where like, but maybe it's later, where like Michelle Pfeiffer's like asking questions and the judge keeps overruling her.
Yeah.
And then Sam goes like, I think he wants you to sit down or wants you to stop. And I was like, if I was Michelle Pfeiffer right there, I would just be like, all right, you're on your own, buddy.
Yeah, that's
I'm
it.
out. Like, shut the fuck up. I'm done.
She and Michelle has like a less than fun home life. Her husband is apparently some kind of dick.
Yep.
And is cheating on her.
Yep.
And her
son doesn't like her because she's never home.
And her son hates her. And she gives Sam one of her husband's suits to wear to look professional at the trial. And when like they do the like the reveal of him in the suit and like the way she looks at him, like, is she gonna fuck him? And then that was only compounded later when they have like an emotional scene. I'm like, she's gonna fuck him.
It very much feels that way.
It was played like a romance, and it was super weird.
Yeah, so bizarre. So now the falling down the stairs cake gag was great.
Yeah.
But it's so much more offensive because he's challenged.
Yeah.
Like it was very much a Kramer.
It was so Kramery.
Yeah.
Like legs are going all, yeah.
And like slide on your stomach in the cake, but then pop up and just be like happy. Like,
yeah. Like it was a good fall. It
was a really good fall.
Because there's like a short staircase that, like a staircase that you could hop down.
Yeah. Like 4 stairs, maybe 3.
Yeah. And he comes running around the corner, falls all the way down the stairs without touching any, like just falling from top to bottom, and fell on his face using the cake in a box he was carrying to cushion it. I mean, it was a good stunt.
It really was.
It was really good.
Was. One of the highlights of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
The next note I wrote was, I loved all of the R-word noises he made and running away celebrating when she said she'd be his lawyer.
Yes.
That was very embarrassing.
Yeah,
for a grown man who's acting to do. Very embarrassing.
I like that one of her arguments in the family court or whatever was basically she said it without setting it, like, hey, don't you guys feel retarded sometimes?
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
Like,
that was my next note. I'm like, Michelle dropping a hard R.
Yeah. She's like, hey, yes, look, no one's arguing. This guy's extremely retarded. But hey, when this happens and this happens, don't you feel retarded? And we're really going to punish this guy for just feeling retarded a little more often than us. Come on. And like that was basically the argument.
It really was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, so I enjoyed that.
Her calling all of his friends to the stands.
Yeah.
The stand, just...
I don't know if I would do that.
Also, just like the most like tone deaf filmmaking of like, hey, let's have the mentally feeble go up on the stand and just say dumb things and like silly things so that like the audience can laugh.
That'll help.
Yeah, like it. Yeah. Also, if those are your only witnesses or like the judges of character, then just don't call them up.
Just don't call them.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, we have nobody that can verify that he's not a bad person.
I'd probably just stick to Diane Wiest.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, if you're looking for the best actor in the movie, it's her. I think.
I mean, she's really good.
Yeah.
It would be between her and Dakota Fanning.
Actually, yeah, those are the top two.
Yeah.
How about Elle Fanning? She was a good baby
for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Diane Wiest is a shut-in, as we said.
Yeah.
She's like a Juilliard trained pianist or something.
And big Beatles head. Imparted that to Sam.
Yeah. Which is why there's all nothing but fucking Beatles references and songs in the goddamn movie.
Yeah, and why it's a Yoko Ono apologist movie.
Yep, it was.
Because I think
Sam had
some metaphor being made where like Yoko didn't ruin it, like John just wanted to do other stuff.
Yeah, and they're like, it's not
I'm
her
like,
fault.
no,
it's not
Yoko ruined it.
It's not her fault. Well, just watch that fucking John Lennon. Is it Chuck? No, it's not Chuck Berry. The one him. And a black guy.
Richard Pryor.
No, but a musician doing like a guitar player.
Uh-huh.
And Yoko's there. Have you not seen the video? Where they're like jamming and then she just like grabs the mic and starts doing her like Yoko noises.
Really?
And the guy, it's not Chuck Berry, but it's somebody else. He just has this look like on his face of like, what the fuck? But he keeps playing.
Yeah.
But he does.
He's polite.
But like he just like
it might be Chuck Berry. I think John Lennon and Chuck Berry's duet was destroyed by Yoko Ono.
Chuck Berry.
I'm thinking it was Chuck Berry.
Nice. Yeah, very funny. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely watch it. Because like the moment she starts doing her like weird screaming noises and the look on Chuck Berry's face is just like, who's this fucking bitch? How do you not know Chuck? Have you not heard or seen anything she had done up to that point?
Yeah, come on. That's on. Once again, Chuck Berry's the bad guy.
So she eventually gets called to this, like they want her to come be a representative for Sam, but we're not sure she's gonna come, and then she does show up, and then
there's never any explanation as to why she became a shut-in, right?
No, but I think some people just become shut-ins because they get older and they don't like
and they
people
have to
and
hide in their rooms every day
sometimes.
Okay.
And Richard Schiff just fucking gives it
just
to her.
Rakes her over the coals.
Like, that's why no matter what, like, if anybody I knew was a
woman
on trial, I can't name a woman, so I couldn't even. If anyone I ever knew was on trial for something, I would be
me in the future.
I would be so afraid to go take the stand just because
that other lawyer,
they're just gonna let you fucking have it, and like, I'm too fragile. I wouldn't be able to take it.
Is it or is it not true that you professionally dress up as a cat?
Is it true or is it not true that constantly you talk about kissing Scott Henson on the podcast? Yeah, that's also true.
I think you've actually moved up your next best of the year movie episode for the mere potential of getting to kiss more.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got us.
God damn it, Schiff.
God damn it.
Toby's the best.
So now we get Judge Bob Kelso.
Yes.
Not quite as mean as Dr. Bob Kelso.
No.
But still a little mean.
Fairly unforgiving of the retarded.
Yeah.
As everyone in these movies tend to be.
100%. And I mean, now it's kind of like, it's a little bit of a courtroomy, like, calling into question how much Sam actually knows and doesn't know. So Michelle has like given him, like, she has like 100% coached him on the exact way to answer the question.
They're like, hey, she's smarter than you. How are you going to help her with her schoolwork? There's a tutoring thing. How are you going to pay for it? It's free at the YWCA. Etc.
And and so they're like, what happens when she starts like knowing more? They're like, well, there's some things she knows more than me, and some things I know more than her, and some things I know more than you.
Yeah.
And it's
to be fair, he really leaned heavy on knowing the bus routes better than her. I don't think he knew anything else better than her.
Probably not. He knows the inner workings of a woman's body from the one time he was raped.
That's true.
But then it kind of falls apart, because once he starts asking him like more complicated questions that they didn't practice,
he's got nothing.
He just completely fucking falls apart.
Nothing.
And like, obviously you got to look at it as Schiff is like looking out for the best scenario for Lucy.
Yeah. And also there is a very simple solution to all of this. I don't know why they didn't figure it out. Because like Michelle Pfeiffer's kid, like he seemed to have like some like behavioral problems, because he like pulls the fire alarm at the station or whatever.
Or he's lashing out because she's not around.
Yeah. So I'm like, wait, is her son retarded? They should just switch kids. Yeah. Bingo bango, problem solved.
Bingo bango, no more punk brother.
No more punk brother. Yeah. Well, I don't know why they didn't do that.
Brother, he's not being a good brother. But yeah, so I know he's doing what's in the best interest for her. Yeah. But like, he's such a motherfucker.
He's a real motherfucker
like,
about it.
He's going out of his way to make everyone in the courtroom see, like, do you not see how retarded this guy is? like he is the most retarded.
Check this guy out. Yeah.
Like, he's actively going out of his way to embarrass him in front of a courtroom full of people.
Yeah.
Like, it's so diabolical.
No one has ever punched down harder.
No. But he was so good at it.
He was great. He's a professional.
It's like came natural to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then at one point, Michelle drops another hard R.
Absolutely.
I don't remember exactly what the context was.
I'm sure it was warranted.
So, I mean, my last note is just when they have that very sad moment later on, and she kind of gets like really close to him, and I'm just like,
and they're maybe gonna
why does everybody want to fuck him?
I don't know.
And by everybody, I mean the homeless lady and then Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, that's still two.
Like, Michelle, you've been around him. You know how retarded he is.
Michelle, you fucked Batman.
Yeah.
And you want to fuck this guy?
I don't get it. I don't get it. So the end result is that they put her with a foster family, which is
late in the game, Laura Dern,
which is noted my first crush, Laura Dern.
Nice.
And her husband, who you see for 1 second in one scene.
It's a lot more Laura Dern than the husband.
And that he gets like visitation every now. I don't know. They didn't tell you what the actual thing is.
Yeah.
But like, he's so sad that they took her away that he like stops going and stops showing up.
Yeah.
So then
she's all hurt.
Then Michelle Pfeiffer has to go and like
talk. The daughter's all hurt.
Yeah, so Lucy's gets sad about it.
Yeah.
And then Michelle Pfeiffer has to go and like talk him into being like, what the fuck did we fight for if you're just gonna like give up on her? And
then she fucks him.
Then she bangs him and gets pregnant by him. So now she's gonna have a retard baby. And then they're like, so you have to get a better paying job so that you can like have she can have a room at your place and you can like support her a little bit better. And so he goes from being a part-time employee at Starbucks to a dog walker.
Yeah,
because that's
where the money
better
is.
Than Starbucks.
That's where the money is.
Yeah,
and that's
that's the end of the movie. Nothing else really. He moves closer.
He moves closer.
Because
this was a time in our nation's history when a phoebe on a dog walker salary could buy a new apartment.
Yeah, in Los Angeles,
in L.A.
Yeah.
So that must have been nice.
Should I read all of my Summer of Sam notes out of context and just read them?
You can do whatever you want in the next less than 3 minutes.
Okay. Here are my notes for Summer of Sam out of context. Starting off hot and heavy. How many times total do you think I said out loud to myself, I knew it wasn't Berkowitz? Love how much his friends bully him about getting murdered next. Good thing Brody didn't actually have to try to do a good British accent and could just do a terrible one.
Nice.
Oh boy, young Jennifer Esposito. Also, mature older Jennifer Esposito. If God doesn't want me to buttfuck 69 or doggy style, then sign me up for hell, which I believe is a line that Leguizamo says.
Nice.
Now I got a case of the blue balls was something somebody said.
Sad.
One of the characters' name is Bobby the Fairy.
Tight.
Imagine listening to a dumbass dog.
He did listen to
Did
a
he
dog.
really want to kill only brunettes, or are they all just whores? Me no likey punk Jennifer Esposito. How does one keep looking like half a fag? Because that was somebody says you look like half a fag. I said Spike's most sexual movie, and my final note was I love how much gaslighting he did post orgy.
Nice.
John Leguizamo's character and whoever his wife is, I've already forgotten.
Mrs. Leguizamo.
Get kind of tricked into going to an orgy where he has sex with a bunch of women, she has sex with one other guy, and afterwards he's like, "You're a fucking whore. I knew you were a whore.
That's my
you
guy.
Dirty
I remember
slut.
that. It's
I
been a
hate
long
you.
time since I've
You
seen it, but I
stupid
remember
bitch.
that.
I hate you."
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Oh, that is a good movie.
Hey, I did it all in less than 3 minutes.
Pretty good. You did it in like 1 minute.
I did.
Good job.
The director of I Am Sam,
Was not allowed to direct another movie for 14 years.
and nobody fucking saw it.
And nobody saw it.
Love the
No,
Coopers.
she killed her career. And rightfully so.
Yep.
You should not be allowed to make things after I Am Sam.
No, there's actually people in it.
But nobody saw it.
No.
You swung and you missed.
Yeah. All right, that's it.
I
Bye.
guess we're doing some request stuff next week. We'll figure out exactly
We'll figure it out
what.
off air.
I don't know if we're doing the whole anime season. Maybe half an anime
We'll see.
season.
We also got a lot of 2021s to watch, so we'll see how far
And
we
then
get.
we got 2021. So that's that. Send money to paypal.me/not Scott Henson or Sarian Softpaws, especially if you want to know Drew's dark secrets.
Can you keep my secret?
If you guys remember what that reference is, you'll be grossed out.